hangs during the day, one with self and time. So let's get to the bottom line. If so, what do you fight for? You deny your thirst, now it's time to feast. Bring it out, keep grinding, diving deep like cold steel. I won't face my doom, sayonara. Well done, how dare you? Never too late to bend the knee. When hell freezes over, sayonara.
Welcome to Jupiter Nightly News. DIO distributing AI models for use. Market nationwide, excitement is sky high. Over how this magic device highly acclaimed in the medical field and construction industries that we need to live and breathe will alleviate our crisis and reshape what our daily life is.
The doom carriage is forever. If so, what do you fight for? The world is starting to resist you now. It's time to feast. Bring it out, keep grinding, diving deep like cold steel. I won't face my doom, sayonara. Well done, how dare you? Never too late to bend the knee. When hell freezes over, sayonara. I know the time of darkness will come someday, but I will fight it till the day I die. The world decided to reject you. If so, what do you fight for? You must learn your place. Now it's time to feast. Bring it out, keep grinding, diving deep like cold steel. I won't face my doom, sayonara. Well done, how dare you? Never too late to bend the knee. When hell freezes over, sayonara. I know the time of darkness will come someday, but I will fight it till the day I die. Break it out, diving deep like cold steel. I will not face my doom, sayonara.
Hello, everybody. Getting started soon.
Yo.
Guilty Gear is so good. What the fuck?
Well,
That
so-
ain't Guilty Gear.
Hard left turn.
Yeah, I don't even know why it went to this because I thought it was still on this playlist, but maybe that was the end of the playlist. Yeah, it was the last.
Man, I'm
song
like, oh, I'm freaking exhilarated right now. God.
because of Killer
Fun
Instinct.
game. Yeah, it was fun.
What are you
Yeah.
playing us?
Reptor.
Raptor. I told you Raptor is a
Yeah.
cool name.
I mean, yeah,
He did not need to be told that.
I'll tell it
Yeah.
again. No, like back when I was a kid and I did not play Killer Instinct, I never owned it, but I read about it in magazines. I thought then that Riptor was a cool name and thought about it a lot. Like I would just like in second grade or third grade, whenever it was, I would just like walk around recess, just be like, man, Riptor, that's really clever.
Okay, looking good. Let me bring us up. There we go. Hello, everybody.
Do we have to do this?
the podcast, yeah. Yes.
I mean, when you put it that way, Christian, I guess I never really thought about it.
Great start.
No, just leave it.
Oh boy.
Well, existentialism to go with your podcast tonight, everybody.
All right, I think that we're looking pretty good. Let me just get the music tested here.
Oh man, I'm funny like that.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember this song.
That song's from Dragon's Dogma.
Oh,
That's not
Dragon's
Dragon's
Dogma?
Apparently. Whoa, sorry. That's the wrong thing.
I played like 1,000 hours of that game. I never heard that song in my life.
The fuck? Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a Capcom song, but
What? This is gonna still have those filters on it. What is happening?
you guys
What
open
do you
cans with one hand,
Yeah.
I mean, not always,
usually, yeah.
but a lot of the
Yeah.
time.
like this.
I'm doing. Yeah.
Well, that made a
Not,
satisfying.
not in the
splash.
air. Not in the air. I'll do
Yeah.
it like if it's on the table, sure.
That was a big splash. Got some things
What
wet.
if you don't have a table?
My
You
dad
have,
was
like,
impressed when I did
empanada
that.
Well, your
so
dad
that you
probably
have
has
an empanada in your
arthritis,
hand.
so yeah, of
Well,
course he'd be
that's for
impressed.
cooks. No, it's my cool hidden skill. I think actually.
That's not a skill,
You're right.
brother.
It's
Everybody
just
can do
you.
that
It
shit.
is just you. Did you guys hear
know
that
what?
music?
Yeah.
Yes.
we hear that.
Chat, tell me if you think that's a skill.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna deny that's a
Just,
skill.
just say yes.
By the definition of skill, Merriam-Webster
You're
says.
doing something, yeah.
Oh, there's some on my screen. Let's get that. Wait,
I wonder how it got there.
Yeah, that's usually why I don't, because it creates a bigger splash. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I try to do it very carefully with two hands, slow and
Sometimes I'll
steady.
put my
Well,
thumb over the.
to be
over the
clear,
hole.
I don't do it with a normal can. This is a tall boy. Like, okay, so that was extra impressive.
Oh, of course, yes, and I
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
why you think that's
It
the
kind of
case.
is. Yeah, you didn't drop it or anything. You know?
Yeah.
I'll give you props for that one, Mikey. Sure.
You did
Thanks.
well.
There's no unskilled labor, and yet,
I've opened up a lot of Coke Zeros in my day, is why.
okay.
Oh man, that one's gonna be good. I'm done. Wrap it up.
I like randomly opened one on the cruise with one hand with Coke Zero. My dad's like, you could just do that with one hand. I'm like, yeah.
Okay. I
gotta
think we're
look
good to
past.
start. You ready, Mike?
Did you tweet?
No, of course not.
What? He wouldn't need the tweet.
How dare
He can
you
do it.
insinuate such a thing?
No, it's fine. I mean, you know, he only has
Hit
like
that like button, Chad. Let's
110,000
go.
followers. That's fine.
Oh man.
Mike's making me tweet right now. Eh?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Calm the fuck out.
Oh.
All right.
Jeff, what the fuck is this rundown?
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know.
is there a rundown?
It's barely
Okay,
anything.
look at that.
Calling you a rundown is generous,
Let me
but
see.
Well,
I'm
man,
not
I'm
looking
just
at that.
honestly, I've been doing the news all week. There ain't shit to talk about really that like is worth actually talking about. So people want to
I
bring.
was more commenting on the way you worded it. But
We'll just talk about whatever I want to. I got
Okay.
plenty of things to
Talk
talk
about
about.
Oh, like did I say shit hot? And that's the
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I'm 40. You know, I'm pretty cool.
oh yeah, very
All right,
hip with
Yes,
the kids.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
You get
right.
it.
What's
You
up,
get it.
fellow young stars? When I talk about that Bungie bundle, let's go.
All right.
Talk about that.
The tweet is loading for some reason because that's a cool website.
Loading.
Yeah, that's what it give me a big
What the
loading
fuck
bar.
does that
It gave me a
mean?
loading bar. I don't know. It was weird.
How do you mean it's okay?
It's what it
alright.
did. I don't know. I
I
suppose it's
believe you.
uploading,
It's
but
under construction, everybody.
all right. I think we are ready to
Let's
go.
start this
I'm
shit.
gonna
Goddamn.
count us in, and I'm gonna hit the button. Here we go. Starting in 5, 4, 3. It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of video games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb. With me is...
Mike Menotti.
In today's episode, Dragon's Dogma 2 looks pretty freaking good. What to expect from the Game Awards and the best games of 2008. Mikey, how are you doing?
I'm good. There's a lot I need to do for like work before I go to LA, and I was like, okay, I have today and tomorrow to do it.
No, you don't.
Well, I had like a 4-hour like demo today, so it turns out I have tomorrow to do it.
And you don't have tomorrow, Mike. You're on Giant Bomb for like half the day tomorrow.
I know. By the way, like at 2:30 our time, I do have something I do for work for a little bit, so I might have to dip out for a little bit at some point.
It's all right.
But
Yeah, no worries.
that's what, because I'll be there for 2.5 hours before then.
Yes,
I don't know how long you're going.
We will probably be wrapping it up not too long after that. So I don't know. Maybe we could put like the silly category right around then. That doesn't mean anything. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
There you go.
We'll figure
It'll be fine.
Exactly. I'm not too worried about
pesky real job getting in the way of things,
Yep, no worries. We're just glad that you can come hang out with us as much as you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. A lot going on. Most of my stuff is like work is still like there and piling up, and like we're doing a bunch of guest lists. I'm adding more names to the list, but at a certain point, I'm just gonna like get a bunch of docs and I'll overlook them. And then I'm going to hand them to Sean and Marino over at John Bomb and have those guys just post it. And so that'll be nice. I'll just hand it off to them. But in the meantime, it's like, okay, I got all that happening. Got to make sure everyone knows what's going on with GB at Night. And then I just went, oh my God, we have like the actual live show that we need to be producing. And we got it in a pretty good state and we have some fun ideas. But still, it's like, man, that's looming large. So all these things happen. And then I got like, oh, I'm going to be leaving my house and my wife and my kids for a bunch of days. So I got to make sure things are set here before I leave. And that's what's stressing me out right now.
I can't believe I got a calendar invite for a dress rehearsal on my birthday. You're going to make me work on my birthday. Yeah, I know. It's funny. Like I'm going to be in LA for a while. I have a lot of stuff I'm doing when I'm there. One of the things I'm not doing is going to the Game Awards. I do not have a ticket. They only gave our outlet one, and you had to buy the other ones, and those just sold out. No, but I'll tell you what. If I wasn't doing my real job where I'm actually like have to like orchestrate and write stories during the Game Awards, sure, I'll go sit down and watch the Game Awards.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like, and I've done it before at the E3 shows where you go with like a laptop and you're trying to work while sitting in an audience. That's no bueno. That's pretty rough. I've done that for BlizzCon things. I've done that for E3 shows. It can be a lot. So hey, that's okay because I'll hang out with you and Jan and Dan. I think I might bring Jordan. I actually asked her yet, but she's gonna be there.
She
She's
can come
also
hang out for
sitting.
sure. If we have enough room, maybe we should come sit in on that. That'd be great too. But yeah, we're gonna watch it, talk over it, and I much prefer that. Mike, I went to the first one.
It's gonna be better.
And the first one was in Las Vegas, so it was like already kind of like more fun in general. Because you're like in a casino hotel and everyone's just hanging out right there, and it was cool. But boy, I'm just like I would rather be talking on the internet, laughing and making fun jokes about this instead of having to just sit there quietly having things thrown advertised at my eyeballs. I'm good. I mean, when I did go to that one, it was like Koji Kondo performing with Imagine Dragons. The one time I liked Imagine Dragons a whole bunch because they were performing with Koji Kondo. That was really cool. And those moments do stand out, but I don't know if that really makes it worth it for me. And I'm like, no, I get people still enjoy going and like hanging out with other people, but I just don't need that. So
yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see people. I'm going to see a lot of them at GB at night.
I'm bringing the people to us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so whatever. And there's some other things. I'm going to see plenty of people. I don't actually need to go to the show. Ricky, I want to be in the show. I don't know. Psycho, I love Lucy on you.
Yeah, no, listen, I love a little Ricky Ricardo.
Ricky Ricardo. That movie came out. No one seemed to care that much, though, right?
Yeah, didn't it have like a pretty good director and writer and all that stuff? I thought.
Yeah, then no one cares. So I assume that means it wasn't that interesting.
I suppose so. All right, you can get more from Mike and me by joining the Discord at GameMess.net. Give us a good rating wherever you are listening and hit that like button on YouTube. It helps people find the show. If you want to ask a question, you could drop a super chat during the show here on YouTube. We'll read all of those before the end of the program. Thank you to Carlos Zain, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. Thank you to 1UP vs. CPU for our artwork. And you can find more of One Up versus CPU at oneupversuscpu.com. We are on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and wherever pods are caught. Mike, everyone uses Spotify for podcasts. I'm learning from this like Spotify rap that's happening right now.
Yeah, Spotify, it's big. It's big with a lot of things.
Yeah, I was kind of on
it.
that idea, but I was like, man, that's a lot of people using that.
It's funny because I do use it for podcasts sometimes, and when I do, it's a good experience. But I'm just so like, podcasts are on iTunes or whatever they call it now, right? Like that's how old I am. So yeah, it's a little hard for me to transition.
Thank you to the mods, and support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to the private channels in our Discord, the monthly Q&A, participation in our monthly game club discussions, 1 month early access to new episodes of Game Mess Jeopardy and Columbros, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. Been a lot of people supporting the show, a lot of people coming in with like big like annual supports and stuff like that. We always really appreciate that. It always means a lot, especially this time of year. So thank you everybody for doing that. We have a Jeopardy coming up soon. In fact, we have a Jeopardy coming up this Friday. Shit.
You say who's in it?
Yeah. Jordan Miner's going to be joining us. Yes, it's tomorrow. Yes, the author of Video Game of the Year, that book that I helped out with a little section in. He's going to be joining us, and we're gonna compete. He should know a ton because he had to write about every video game.
Yes,
or at least had to research every
that buzzer game. It's
Yeah,
that buzzer game.
You're
the best at the buzzer game. I still win usually because I'm smarter than you, but your buzzer game is very good.
But it's like I so many times I'm feeling frustrated because you buzzed in before me. So it's like this is definitely confirmation.
You get it like 90%. No, you get it 90% of the time. I swear to God. All right, before we start, we're going to just me and you do a round of like buzzing and see like out of 10, and I want to see what it is.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for that.
Test the buzzer.
Test the buzzer. How would we do? We just have Sean like 3, 2, 1 go.
Just Sean tells us he's gonna unlock it. We're just gonna mash. He's just gonna unlock it, and we're just gonna see who it says out of 10 times. Because I bet it'll be you like 9 of them is what I'm betting.
Okay, all right. I'm excited to see this. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm ready to get into the big topics of the week. Mike, how about you?
Yes, sir.
Dragon's Dogma 2 looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does, and it's coming out like it's gonna be here before you know it.
It's coming. It's coming exactly when I know it because it's coming on my birthday, Mike, the real birthday, the one that actually matters.
No one cares about that.
Well, clearly Capcom cares about it. So I mean, Dragon's Dogma 2 coming March 22nd, 2024. Again, I mean, I suppose we could have expected this, but for me, it's out of nowhere. I just was not thinking about this game coming out this soon.
No.
And I watched that trailer, the preview event that they did, and I think it looks really cool. That the Shadow of the Colossus segment actually looks great. And I don't know, I'm ready for this. I want to play Dragon's Dogma one more time before I try this game. But if like I get to that point, it's like, oh, I never gave Dragon's Dogma another chance. That won't matter. I'm gonna hop right into this because I'm very excited about it.
I'm kind of excited to go into this never having played a second of Dragon's Dogma 1. Like this is gonna be like a Street Fighter 2 situation for me, right?
Yes.
And I think it could be that in some ways, in a broad sense, like this game could pop off in a way the first one never really did.
So.
The first one did fine, but just because of the excitement for Capcom, the excitement for one of these, a Skyrim-like, right? That's kind of like the general gist here. Obviously, bit more faster-paced content.
A lot of other stuff going on for sure, but yes, I think generally that's a fair way of putting it.
Yeah, I think people are hungry for that kind of experience right now, especially with like a new Outer Scrolls. Absolutely nowhere on the horizon, Avowed nowhere on the horizon, really. So this game's going to slot in pretty nicely. And if it has that quality that Capcom has been delivering for all of their big games lately, right? And like they're, I know they're smaller games. Sometimes people like weren't crazy about the dinosaur game, what was that called? Exoprimal?
Exoprimal. Yeah, we had a good time with
it.
On Giant Bomb. Yes, everyone that I played with liked it a lot. I think Sean liked it too, yeah.
But when they've been firing big shots lately, those have almost always hit. I can't really remember last time they haven't, right? Devil May Cry 5, the Resident Evils, the Monster Hunters, and that's kind of like the trajectory I see this on. I kind of like almost expect this to be surprisingly big. I don't know how you can expect something to be surprising, but there I am.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and I'm hoping that that's exactly the story here, and it hits exactly like that, because we had a really strong year at games, and while I like when you say, like, oh man, what if next year sucks so we can catch up on some of these games, I get the feeling this year is going to be pretty good as well. I think the Game Awards might actually set the tone for that here pretty soon, but it'd be cool, like, hey, yeah, let's just keep it going. Let's just Dragon's Dogma in March. It's going to be a Game of the Year contender, maybe. Yeah, I would love that. We'll see if that's actually how it actually plays out, but that is my hope. I don't know, any other final thoughts about this game before we move on? And of course, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask a super chat.
I'm very excited about that character who attacks with incense.
Yeah, like, how did that work? Could you tell? Like,
it looked like it was more kind of a buffing, debuffing thing or something, really, like a support character. But he had when I was an altar boy, I had that thing, the chain with the incense lantern at the end of it.
Right.
And I thought about using it as a weapon, but I didn't because I feared God. But I can now live out that fantasy in Dragon's Dogma 2.
Right, you could do things in video games that you cannot do at Disney Church, of course.
No.
I don't know. The last thing here, it's just no, I don't have any other thoughts. I just left my brain, so never mind.
I like that though.
Yeah,
you tried to come up with one. That's okay. We can just move on.
We can just move on. Yeah, it was a moment for me. I am thinking about
a senior moment.
A senior moment.
Jeff.
Yep, it's happening. I am thinking a lot about the Game Awards though, because that is going to be next Thursday. I do want to try to do something with these podcasts next week, everybody. But again, not sure what that will look like. But maybe we'll put something in the feeds. We'll find something out to do.
We'll try to figure something out. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, including next Thursday will be the Game Awards. And I figured what we could do here is maybe try to figure out a little bit of what to expect, give us some predictions, and predictions for like what's going to be announced there, not for who's going to be the winners. Although we can do that if you want. I just don't particularly care at this moment. But yeah, we'll just hop right in. I
want to know. I want to know predictions for Game of the Year. I guess is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Well, we do. Yeah,
just
definitely. I don't know. Let's start there. So I am thinking that it's probably going to be Alan Wake 2. I think it's going to have the momentum at the right time.
I think it's still going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you think that Tears Kingdom's going to come in third with the votes. Who would have thought that coming into the year?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the way that it's working out for these voters is I think voters for the Game Awards are going to prioritize novelty, and I think they will find Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 to be more novel than the sequel to Breath of the Wild. And
novelty is one way of putting it, and that is correct. It's a correct way of putting it. But they're kind of better stories because these are sequels that both were a long time coming, and people did not have very big expectations for them. I mean, go back to listen to all of the podcasts at this time last year talking about 2023. The games everyone was talking about were like Zelda, Starfield, Final Fantasy, Diablo. Nobody was really talking that much about how excited they were for Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2. A lot of people assumed Alan Wake 2 wasn't even going to come out this year. People are like, well, that's slotted for next year, but that's going to get delayed. So in fact, those games came in and over-delivered. Over-delivering is always the best thing you can do for your Game of the Year chances, right?
Yes, definitely. I'm trying to see what we voted for, and I can't say obviously everybody, but I'm just trying to get an idea. And now I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know if Dan actually voted. Maybe he just sent in his ballot secretly. But yeah, I think you're right. Over-delivering, having that's a huge part of it. Because expectations and then overcoming those expectations, that sets a tone for the game itself. And then if the game is great on top of that, not in a vacuum compared to everything else around it, that'll really push it over the top. And I just think that the kind of game that wins Game of the Year typically is the one that does have really strong narrative, really strong, memorable characters, something that you could sit down and show to somebody and be like, this is what's impressive about this. And I think Alan Wake 2 checks a lot of those boxes. I think Baldur's Gate 3 does as well. It just takes a little bit longer for people to get that. Now, in Baldur's Gate 3's favor, or in its corner, is the fact that it was this huge viral hit, and people were talking about it across all these social media platforms in a similar way to Elden Ring. So I'm not going to be surprised if that ends up winning at all. But yeah. The other possibility here is that maybe Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 split the vote a little bit somehow, and Zelda does sneak in, but I don't think so. So
It's funny how, like, if Zelda won, I think people would be mad. There would be some people would be mad. I mean, people are going to be mad no matter what, of course. Imagine if Resident Evil 4 won, how mad they'd get. I'd love it.
yeah, that would be sweet, sweet anger, and I would
God,
drink
that'd
it up.
be incredible. I'd drink it.
All right. So, what to expect from the Game Awards in terms of announcements? I wrote down some thoughts here, some stuff. There are some things that I've heard that I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to spoil. So I think I'm going to save those things, everybody. But I'll try to talk around things a little bit here. But then the rest is like either speculation or based on things that we're hearing that I can't confirm one way or the other. Starting with Hellblade 2, Clockwork Revolution, and South of Midnight, all those Xbox games, have all been rated in Australia. Do you think that we could get updates on those 3 games? And I know you just mentioned you hope you didn't see Hellblade 2 again.
Well, okay, I said that. I immediately regretted it. But the last Hellblade 2 showing was so boring to me. Like, look, if they want to come out of Hellblade 2 and really try to impress us and show us why this game is going to be a big game next year, and do it in a way that, look, I get it. It's a very narrative-focused game. Sure. Like, show me why, in terms of gameplay, that game is going to be interesting and impressive and cool.
I think that goes for all 3 of these
on
games.
board with that.
Yeah, so all 3 of these games are in that same bucket of, I mean, Clockwork Revolution, it's like, that's probably just going to be a Bioshock and whatever. Okay, I know what to expect.
That's fine. I could go for one of those,
exactly.
I guess.
I just need to play it to know if it's a good one of those. So whatever you show of that, if it's more of the Bioshock sort of look and feel, whatever. South of Midnight, we have no idea what that game is as a game. It had a really stylish debut. And to remind people, Clockwork Revolution is the one that looks exactly like Bioshock Infinite, basically. And South of Midnight is that stylish Louisiana Bayou-ass looking game.
Oh, right. I was like, yeah, that one, sure.
Right.
Yeah. At least that game stands out visually a bit more.
Game
But yeah,
has a
all
look.
of them,
yes.
Yeah. But, you know, they're all
So does
trying to get
be
you
fair,
with...
Hellblade does too. Hellblade has a look in
They're
terms of...
all good-looking games. And I think for a lot of people, just like seeing interesting story hooks is enough. You know, me and you. No, not really. I want to see why I'm going to be interested in it as a game.
Yes, and South of Midnight is Compulsion's next game. That's right, the people that made We Happy Few. But yeah, I would love to see gameplay for all of those. Now, because these things got rated in Australia doesn't guarantee they'll be at the Game Awards. It's just as likely that these things will get some other announcement, some other venue. A lot of companies have been doing stuff outside of the Game Awards. That could happen with these 3. But I do like Xbox says they will have stuff there, and you could probably expect a pretty big announcement from them, and maybe multiple big announcements from them, or at least interesting stuff that they're bringing. So yeah, we can look forward to that at the very least. Again, not trying not to spoil anything. Let's see, Elden Ring DLC. That seems pretty likely, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been so long since we've really heard about that. We haven't really heard anything super substantial about that.
There was a little bit of murmurs of, I can't remember what platform, but there were some updates to Elden Ring in some back end. I don't know if it was Steam or something else. And people made note of it, like, this is strange and might signify something. Who knows? But I'll say that, I mean, Elden Ring had a really good showing at a Keighley thing before. So it would make sense to come here with the DLC and be like, yes, we have a date and stuff, right?
No, exactly. Like, they used Keighley stuff to promote that game heavily in the first place. And it clearly, like, you know, everything that game did, like, you wouldn't change anything, right? About the promotion.
Yep.
So why not just do it again?
Yep, absolutely. And I think if we get Elden Ring DLC, this is already a really good show. In terms of like my excitement, because I'm ready to go back into Elden Ring. Give me some more story stuff in there. Give me some more land masses to explore. I'm ready to go. This one I'm not going to give like too many details on. I heard something Jurassic Park related might be happening, but I can't confirm it. So I'm not going to talk about like what I've heard it is. But if it comes through and it looks...
For once, I don't have my Jurassic Park bottle open here. I was going to do a bit. Continue.
I told you about this one, and it sounds pretty cool, right? If it works out that way, yeah.
What you told me sounds like a very good fit, right? Like a Jurassic Park game can mean a lot of things. What you told me seems like a good idea. I hope it's real. I hope it's real as well. And if it is, if we don't hear about the Game Awards, I think we'll hear about it soon, one way or the other. And again, that's if it's real. I don't know. Dragon Age also seems pretty likely. They have a history of doing stuff at the Game Awards.
EA is not going to have anything Mass Effect related. They did their thing on in 7-Day. That's still years and years away. Dragon Age is still, at this moment, scheduled to come out next year, probably sometime after the summer of next year. But hey, doing something at the Game Awards to like set the tone of like, yeah, next year's still happening, I think that's very likely. What do you think?
Yeah, but like at this point, I want to see something substantial, right? I don't want to see another like 20-second story trailer that's mostly a person's feet or shadow or like a magic spell, right? Like, I mean, hey, maybe we could see some gameplay of this. Maybe we can get a real idea of what the structure of this game is going to look like.
And that's why I'm like not certain about this, because these days companies save their big in-depth gameplay trailers until they're very close to release. And if this game's not coming out to the second half of next year, maybe they just hold off until they're actually ready and they don't have anything for this. But the history suggests that it's very likely they'll have something here, so we'll see. And then what do you think about Nintendo? Do you think Nintendo's going to have anything substantial there?
Not really. Maybe something smaller. And maybe something smaller that'd be really cool to me. Like, I don't know, but I can't even see them be like, yeah, we're using this platform to talk about Metroid Prime 2 Remastered.
Yeah.
They don't have any big DLC really left to talk, unless there's like Mario Wonder DLC, something like that. I don't know. Again, I feel like Nintendo's next big showcase is kind of has to start talking about a console here, right? And this doesn't really seem to be part of the plans for December. We already know enough about the games coming out from them, like the next 6 months. They don't really need to say too much here. I can kind of see them just laying low, and they've been laying low at these things anyways, and now it feels like they might be laying the lowest of lows.
So when I wrote down here ellipses, Metroid Prime 4 ? You think no way?
No, I don't think we're seeing Metroid Prime 4 here.
Yeah,
I am in general way less optimistic about Metroid Prime 4 even being a thing in next year compared to like you and other people.
Right.
That's not even within my expectations. It'd be nice, but I'm not really expecting it.
I agree with you for the most part about it not being here. The one thing is that Metroid is a very Western franchise. This is a lot of eyeballs, and I think there's a chance, but probably not.
It wouldn't be a bad venue for it. You're right.
It's a good fit. That's right. That's my whole thing here. It's a good fit. That doesn't mean anything. That means zero. So it's probably not going to be there, but I would love it. So hopefully. And then what about Sony?
I mean, so that's interesting because like they almost seem to be in a position where that it'd be a good idea, because we don't know very much at all about what their 2024 is going to look like. A lot of people are going to be watching this. It just depends on, Sony so often does just like to do their own thing anymore. But they've been a part of Keighley stuff before. I hope so. Let me put that. I hope so. I hope we get a really big drop from Sony. I think that could be kind of the thing from the show. Even really, I think it would benefit both PlayStation and the Game Awards itself. So like that's something I think we could see and I would like to see.
I agree, but I mean, Sony's been so like pull the rug out from your expectations, like that PlayStation showcase. It's like, okay, we're going to get all the answers there. And it felt like we didn't really get any answers there. And so I'm like, well, maybe we'll get some answers here. And I'm like, now I'm not even getting my hopes up for that. They'll talk about these games when they're ready to talk about them. And I'm sure they have a ton of stuff in the works, things that are going to be really exciting and surprising. But I'm not going to get my hopes up too much for this showcase to be for PlayStation. I'll say the one last thing that I have heard, and this is like very vague stuff, but that there will be a lot of new IP, cool stuff from third parties. Again, try not to spoil anything,
yeah.
But I don't know. Overall, like, do you think that we're going to come out of this game awards and be like, that was a really good showcase for new games?
Well, no, because nobody ever thinks that, even when I think it is sometimes. Especially when you are like, if it is new IP heavy, like, let's be honest, what people are going to get excited about, people are going to get hyped about sequels, or they
want CM Punk to come back. Like, yes,
right. Yeah, if you're like, here's From Software's next game, then people will give it some leeway on being the new IP, right? But, if it's just some new IP from some studio that, like, people don't really know, or they made a couple big games, but
it's messed up. Armored Core 6 is not nominated for Game of the Year. That's messed up. That's a really
It's a
good
bit
game.
messed up. But hey, I mean, like, I'm surprised how, like how many Jans there were, right? People are like, I don't really like it, right? To me, I was like, no, what's not to like? But
It's so good.
the way they did it, I think it's great.
Yep.
Like, it's very, very good. But what are you gonna do? Yeah.
I don't know. Any other predictions coming from your side of things? Anything that you would like to see that would be ideal?
Gosh, I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to say because like what I always want is to be surprised in a fun way. That's what I always want. So for me, being the kind of somewhat nostalgic gamer I am, it means seeing old franchises come back and get a sequel, and that's something that can be explained. I'm as guilty as it is anybody, right? Like I'm gonna definitely. They came out and say there's a new Twisted Metal. I'm gonna care a lot more about that than some new IP I never heard of, even if it looks really cool, right? I'll probably even make snarky jokes at that thing's expense because I'm a bad person.
Do you think there's a chance that Microsoft might have its hardware refreshes here? Because it's done that in the past as well. And we learned about the discless Xbox, like the cylinder one from the
Dickless?
Yeah, the dickless one. That's right, Judge. This man has no penis. Yeah, I mean, Ghostbusters. What can I do? The FTC documentation had a handful of new hardware from Microsoft. I think there's a chance that could happen here.
I guess it's a little. What did it look like last time they revealed hardware? Because I have a hard time imagining that in the middle of an award show.
They did Xbox One X at the show, right? And
did they? I don't remember.
And then I think didn't they confirm Xbox Series X is coming? But I don't think they showed it. I think they just said, "And we got new hardware coming," something along those lines. But they've definitely
showed
it there. That was the big reveal for it.
Okay, it was.
Okay,
yeah, all right then. Yeah.
Well, then there you go. Then I guess that's a distinct possibility. Then.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Spencer's on the board of directors for the Game Awards, or board of advisors, I suppose. It's probably not directors.
Sure.
And they have a close relationship. He's done that before. It's worked out in the past. I bet something along those lines happens here, or it could happen here. Not like guaranteeing it or anything, but I think that could happen. Especially since it's like you can't wait too long on these things, because if PlayStation is going to have a PS5 Pro, these things are going to look silly next to that. So we want to get these out as soon as possible.
You convinced me, Jeff.
Fantastic. All right,
I'm glad you promised it's definitely happening.
Yeah, no problem. Any other thoughts?
No, that's it. I'm just I'm excited to see you. Man, I mean, the show always garners a lot of criticism, and hey, go ahead, criticize it, right? I don't care. I think this is generally as good a show as we are ever going to get. In terms of like being this big and getting people actually watching it, Jeff. I know people get upset like, oh, is it not enough about the awards? Like, I get that, and there definitely is a point. It is kind of silly when awards aren't even mentioned during the show, but I don't know. My expectations are always a bit more realistic, I think.
Yeah, and the Real Game Awards are happening the Saturday after this anyhow.
That's right.
We're live in Los Angeles, California, everybody. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk about some super chats. Then we have some other stuff going on this episode. We'll do all of that right after this.
Break.
Yep.
This is a break.
Guys, is Mike a little hot? Like he could probably turn down his gain a touch, right?
Yeah,
I turned up my gain a little bit when I was streaming because people said I was low.
Just a touch, Mike. It's not terrible, but yeah, just turn it down a touch.
Yeah, you're just ever so slightly peaking.
Yeah.
All right. I've lowered it. Let me know if that's better when I'm back.
Sure.
Smoking on that puck. Sorry. What's going on, chat?
What's going on, chat? What's the Red Wings score? Let's see, ESPN.
Yeah, what's
Plus.
the Red Wing score? I bet you that's a racist name.
It's not. It's a completely made up thing. But we could probably find a way for it to be racist, though, if we worked hard enough.
Don't try.
They're playing the Blackhawks, okay, and that's a Native American tribe.
You keep saying that thing that you keep saying that combination of words like it doesn't sound like black cocks. And it's weird.
Well, now I'm never going to be able to unhear that. Thanks a lot, Christian. I appreciate it. Oh, they won 5-1. Hell yeah, let's go.
I only think about that all the time.
Did Comfort get a hat trick? I hope Comfort got a hat trick. Let's see here.
Got a hat trick. Is hat trick this? It means the same thing like in soccer. Like
it means the same thing as it does in soccer. Yes.
Okay. Disney versus Ultraman. Well, Ultraman can turn like giant and like just crush Disney, like the person and the park
and the head
and the brain. Yeah.
All right.
You think they're gonna? You think after Elon apologized, they're gonna reconnect the brain to the Twitter?
No,
Or that's just dumb.
that's too late for that.
I guess.
Yeah, in hockey they throw hats on the ice. Of course. What do they do in other countries? Not throw hats during a hat trick? Fucking animals.
They throw hats.
Yeah, you throw hats.
Allow me to act like a 20-year-old and say that's kind of cringe.
That's so cringe.
What's cringe is if you are wearing a hat and you don't throw it when someone gets a hat trick on your team. That would be cringe.
Oh, I would do the fun thing.
What happened? Who?
I assume if you wear a hat to a hockey game, you better be ready to part with it.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay, I guess if it's part of the social contract, then
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I'd be the first to throw my hat in there.
They also throw
Am I
octopi.
now?
They throw
What if
octopi on
I-
the ice.
I think
Can
you're
I-
still
can
a
I-
little hot, Mike.
Well, I was screaming too, but I can lower a little bit more.
Just
Can
a
I-
tiny
can I-
bit, like
can I
a
put-
notch.
Yeah, touch.
Yeah,
How's this? How's this, everybody?
it's pretty good.
How's that? Smoking
good.
weed every
Pretty
day.
good,
Let's
yeah.
go. All right, I'm ready.
What if I put a spring on my hat and when I throw it, it comes back to me?
That would just be
That's-
fucking cool dude stuff.
What are
See,
which
right
one?
now
A
up
boomerang
here.
spring. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready.
I almost stopped the
Let me see.
recording. After that.
Don't do that
Don't
because
do
we're
that.
we're getting back into it right now. And we're back. Mike, we have some super chats. Go ahead and read those.
1 second. I'm responding to all these negative reviews we have on iTunes. Is that still a thing? Yeah. Look, I'm going to tell them why they're wrong, Jeff.
Yeah,
Their
that's a good
podcast is
idea.
Actually good.
Oh yeah, I guess people talk about that. Yeah, but Bethesda did that thing. That was pretty fucking stupid.
It's pretty stupid.
Like responding to negative reviews is part of a community manager's job for like any business. The way that they're doing it is so stupid. Where
Right.
it's like,
I do like that
actually,
some
you're
people are
wrong about what you think is fun. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Like some people are saying, like lots of people do this. Like, okay, that's not necessarily the problem. Although I think maybe you just shouldn't. But to be clear, they're doing it poorly.
Well, I mean, like, some
But-
people are like really good at it. Dave Oshry, like, he does that all the time, and a lot of times he just makes fun of people who are being stupid in his reviews, and it's great. It's like a funny thing to do. Big corporations doing it facelessly and telling people like, actually, it's not boring.
Actually, when the astronauts went to the moon, they weren't bored. Like, yeah, no shit. If I really went to one of these planets, yes,
I would not be bored. I'd be
exhilarated.
terrified, and that's a completely different thing anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll disingenuous. Jesus.
We should.
All right.
We should read our iTunes reviews
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
someday
Yeah, they just
because they're pretty funny.
let that Argentinian talk more is what they'll say, and I'll be like, these are bullshit
Yeah.
reviews. I know what you did, Christian.
Well, we know they're fake. They're all from Christian.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. Big Fresh 37 says, think we might see the reemergence of multiverses at the Game Awards. Don't laugh. I love that game. I mean, it's supposed to come back, right? So
Yeah, I'm like trying to like put myself in Jeff Keighley's shoes. If Warner Brothers comes to you and says, "Hey, we have a trailer for the new release of Multiverses," do you think he would be excited by that? I'm guessing actually probably yes, because there'd be some
you'd
movie
say
characters.
pay me, but yes, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm trying to think. Would he ask for money or not? I don't know.
Who could Warner Brothers put in that game? Like, what hot Warner Brothers character from the last couple of years could they put in to really spike some interest? What has Warner Brothers been up to?
Did they? Is that
lately?
the game that has Walter from? Am I making that up? That could have been a meme, but
No,
from Breaking
yes,
Bad,
from Breaking Bad. Yeah,
he's in that
he
game.
doesn't have it yet, but he's supposed to be on that. It was like
He was never in that game though. That never actually happened.
No,
Who
it never
knows if it
happened.
ever-
But it was like a leak, and it's supposed to be on there. And the leak looked pretty real, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, it did not happen.
Well, they put the guy from
wait a second.
that soccer show you like.
Walter's not
the
in it.
soccer
They just want him in that. Okay.
That's what I just said. You don't listen. You don't care what I say.
Well, I just
don't
didn't believe you.
me?
You just sounded so. You sounded like there's no way that's
I was
real,
certain.
and from a place of no knowledge. I just thought you were being like frustrated with us, even entertain the idea that that was possible. And I was like, well,
Well, I was.
yeah, right. But I thought you were just angry and not.
Well, I'm always angry, Jeff. Hey, Warner Brothers Pictures distributed the Barbie movie. Maybe they came out and said, "Hey, we have Barbie in Multiverses." Maybe
Yeah.
then people will care.
I am pretty sure if it was like that version of Barbie, Hasbro or whoever, Mattel, would ask for so much goddamn money
Yes,
that
you're
they would
probably right.
not make that game make any financial sense anymore.
That's fair. Antonio Morales says officially off every Monday until January 22nd, 2024. Oh, nice. Any
Hey, not
suggestions
bad.
on how to completely waste his free time and make me regret my decisions? Thanks. To regret your decisions. Get really into World of Warcraft. Right.
Yeah, I was
How
gonna say
about
I'm like
that?
some live service game, just like we're getting to Destiny 1. Be a
I think
real
World of
freak.
Warcraft Classic just launched like its new season or mode or
Nah,
whatever
fuck
that is.
that.
Get into
EverQuest
that.
2. Play EverQuest 2.
Yeah, no.
RuneScape Classic.
EverQuest 2 is like one of those weird, like technically still alive
Yeah, I know.
MMOs
Yeah.
because there's like
That's what I'm saying.
200 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like those are so weird. Like there's people who make content about that. Like, what's it like to play these games now? And it's always very weird. It's what it's like.
It's like joining a cult.
Rachel Acker, who has this 5 on the super chat. I don't know what that signifies.
It is their 5th super chat. I don't know why YouTube's counting it like that, but whatever. Thanks for your 5th super chat.
Hey, I'll go for it. Thank you so much, Rachel. I finally got around to Elden Ring and understand the hype now. What's a game you came back to later that just clicked with you?
Yeah, Gunstar Heroes I played way after it came out, and that instantly clicked and instantly became my favorite Genesis game.
You know what I was playing just before this stream was Killer Instinct, that Xbox One version that just got an update. And I never played that much of it back then. I wasn't really in a big fighting game mood at the time. And since then, people have been talking about how much they like this game, like this game. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that well liked. And just playing it for a couple hours today, messing around with it yesterday. Yes, that game is very good. And I immediately get it. It's
Does it
super
have
fun.
the juice?
Yeah, it's got juice. And the juice is all like Killer Instinct's whole thing, right, is try to imitate America 90s cool, but everybody making the game is from England. So it's almost like, it's not quite a parody of it, but it is like this.
It's in that same vein. I know what you mean.
Right. And it's charming because of that.
That's fun.
It's good. It's very good. Zubimer says, my Spotify Wrapped is all Guilty Gear and Casey Lee Williams, hardly any podcast. That all goes through YouTube and Patreon.
Fair
My
enough.
Spotify Wrapped was even more unhinged than usual, Jeff. It's just a mess of like new metal and video game music and Jimmy Buffett. And my third most listened song of the year was Jafar's song from The Return of Jafar. It was a mess.
Yeah, YouTube does their YouTube Wrapped equivalent and for YouTube music. And mine is, I'm always like, oh man, I can't wait to see what it was. And it's like, oh, you've used Cruisin' Blast's theme song as your alarm every day, so that's one of them. And then here's the shit your kids listen to 100 times every day. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, never mind. This isn't useful at all.
Jesus, Jeff, you really do wake up to just cruise.
I am still not sick of it either.
I don't. I was sick of it the second time we played it. I picked a different song for our outro for us than Ted Dogs. You were just like, no.
Absolutely the fuck not. Yeah. Damn right.
Cody Bishop says, hey guys, I just got an OLED Steam Deck. What system do you think is the best to emulate that would take advantage of that new screen?
Yeah. You know what it is? The fucking NES. Because some of those games have like real dark black backgrounds, and seeing those like little pixels pop against that OLED, Metroid is especially cool. But there's a bunch of them that look really cool. So yeah, NES.
Starman Stage and Mega Man 5.
Yeah, I did some Mega Man, and it looks great on an OLED. It's fantastic. So NES is top tier stuff, but honestly, all of them, it all looks great on the OLED.
Dak says, word on the street is Jeff got a piece of Mike's beard hair and has cloned 100 RoboCop Minottis to be his security. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Just shooting dicks left and right. It'll be crazy.
Yeah, that's all they're doing. And just like, what have I done? This is keeping nobody safe. Hey, you Peekaboo says, Michael Jeffrey Minub, will Hornets of the Hollowness make an appearance at TGA's, or is this game the new Half-Life 3 Toodles? Okay, now I have two thoughts. One, hey, this is a way better chance of having Hollow Knight than like that indie showcase Nintendo had.
1,000,000%. Yes.
It could be here. Like, that game has to be shown at some point. It has been forever. Like, that game is going to come out someday. People are very excited about it. It's a big deal game. That game could be at the Game Awards. It just could. Like, I think there's a distinct possibility. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but it's a distinct possibility. And now that they have put this out there, Jeff, look, there's not a 0% chance we see Half-Life 3.
I mean, I just heard
But
you
to be
guarantee it's
clear-
going to be there.
To be cool, look, Half-Life Alex did set up Half-Life 3. Like, I assume that a lot of people just made that game, then started working on a Half-Life 3. They just did all this anniversary stuff for Half-Life 1. Look, it's not a great chance. It's as best a chance as we have had in a very long time.
All right, I'm buying.
You're
I'm buying
in?
what you're selling here. Yeah, I'm in. You got me.
You know what? I'm there it is. I'm calling my shot.
That would if that
am
happens, that would be
predicting.
fucking buck wild.
People would lose their minds. It's
Yes.
Half-Life 3.
That would be nuts. Okay. All right. I hope it happens because I will go wild with you.
That is going to be a real video game someday. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is. But I think it could be. Not because I said this, we aren't going to get Half-Life 3 or Hollow Knight.
We'll get
So
Half-Life
sorry,
3, but like
everybody.
25 years. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be too infirm to play it. Ali Miracle says, "Heyo boys, waiting to board my plane. My luggage was slightly overweight. PlayStation 5 and laptop with me. Listen, it's tiny. We'll report in the rest later." Yeah, happy travels, Ali Miracle. Look forward to seeing you at the live show. Hey, if any of you are going to the live show, we are excited to see you. Let us know. We are really looking forward to it. If you haven't got tickets yet, I understand there are very few of those left. Correct, Jeff?
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to be sold out by tomorrow.
Man, I hope so. It'd be fun.
Yep.
Sell-outs are fun.
I mean,
Maybe
it's
Christian will
100%
come in
going to
and-
be sold out by the time the show starts. Like, there's zero chance
Good.
all those tickets will still
Maybe
be
Christian
there.
could chime in and tell me how it's not cool that we sold out the show again.
I'm sure he has his
Shut the
reasons.
fuck up.
Grug says, any shadow drops or demos at the Game Awards? Like, wasn't there a Final Fantasy VII demo rumor? Also, take a shot for every Game Pass commercial. I could totally see a 7 Rebirth demo. Square Enix has liked demos lately. That game is definitely getting ramped up for its release next year.
Yeah, I can see that.
absolutely see that. I can also just see that game might have like a trailer of some kind. Absolutely. Maybe one that, like, we had a tease of Vincent in the last one. Maybe we see more of him. Although I forget if Vincent's like going to be a party member of this one or a guest character like Red 13 was. I don't know. There's still plenty of things they can show to get people excited about Rebirth. I'm already pretty excited about Rebirth, Jeff. Man, 7 Remake was so good.
Yeah, I never beat Remake, but I enjoyed what I played of it. I played like 15 hours and had a really good time with it. And I'll probably try to force my way through it so I can be ready for a Rebirth because I'm excited for that game too. I bet it's going to be really fun.
It's going to be very fun. L. Grug says, that's the one we just said. The Uncharted Wolf says, Sarah Bond tweeted out the 360 logo. Back compat? ? I didn't see this tweet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I mean, there's
a lot of back compat from Xbox 360 already. I thought most of the concern was like, there were a lot of Xbox games that people would have liked. But I don't know. Maybe there's a bunch of Xbox 360 that's missing. I don't know. Do you think they could be doing an Xbox 360 Mini? That'd be funny.
I don't think so.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, because it'd be like games would be so big. The thing that made Xbox 360 cool was Xbox Live, and you're not going to build Xbox Live just for a mini console. So yeah.
Yeah. And she tweeted this on November the 28th. I mean, the Xbox 360 had to come out in November, right? I don't know if it was around then or not.
Oh yeah, that's what I saw. This speculation, and Wolf mentions in here. There could be a lot of Activision Blizzard Xbox 360 games, and probably a lot of Call of Duty Xbox 360 games that will get dropped.
Sure.
Those could be shadow drop too. I could see that happening.
But give me those Transformers games that they made then. That's what I
Yeah,
really
that's
want.
going to take a lot more work, but I hope they get around to doing that stuff. There are a whole lot of, all those Spider-Man games, man, I would love for all of those to be on Game Pass.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool too. There's there's still a ton of 360 games that'd be cool to see. That's it for the super chats for now. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, we're going to take another quick break. When we get back, Sean, do we have a game?
Sorry, was working on stuff. No, not this week.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, when we get back, we're going to do Game of the Year 2008. See y'all in a second.
I'm good to go.
Okay.
I said 130. Like it was half of 360. When
You okay, man?
It's 180.
You dying?
I'm not right.
He's happy and he's not used to that. It's just,
Sure.
you know,
Sure.
gotta get used to it.
Yeah.
That's real.
Rip Bozo.
Ribazo, smoking in that bag watch. Let's fucking go. Oh, there's not enough piss for that grave in the
No,
world.
there's really not.
Holy shit.
All the piss in the world is not enough. Okay, let's see here. It's 2008, right? That is what we're doing.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
The,
Oh, yep.
the thread is
Okay.
on up there on podcast stuff. I saw a TikTok of Anthony Bourdain that almost made me cry, where he talks about Henry Kissinger and him wanting to punch
Yes.
him in the face.
Beat him to
I
death.
was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Anthony Bourdain, every day. I love you even more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's
Motherfucker.
he
was a
talked
realist
about that
dude
a lot.
out there.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. I am gonna bring us back in.
Okay.
Mike, are you ready?
Let's do it. 2009 is happening. Great year.
Is this
I love
this
that.
GIF you posted to me? That's so weird that I'm wearing the same brown shirt.
That is weird. I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did a double take. I'm like, damn, he was on that
I don't-
fast.
I don't wear
Shit.
the shirt that often.
I just
Okay.
searched the Twitter GIF tool for Mike Minotti, and that was it.
Oh.
There you go.
That came out. All right,
Cool.
Look at that.
2008. Here we go, everybody. And we're back. And we're talking about the best games of 2008. Mike, what we do here is you and I try to figure out the 5 best games of any particular year. This year, it's 2008. It is games released in the United States that year. So no games released internationally. So if you have one of those, keep it to yourself. We'll get some input here from our podcast producers in a second. Mike, you want to kick us off, though, while I get the
Well, real
sheet
quick.
going.
Because you weren't here for 2007. Sean and I did that. I don't know
Yeah.
if you want me to. I want to get your reactions. Maybe you kind of should put it in your master doc also, right?
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me get that going here. I meant to bring that up anyhow. I thought you guys were pretty close. I mean, you were wrong, but you were pretty close.
Well, we had number 1. We had Mario Galaxy. Even though the tides are turning against that game, Jeff. Right? No, not really. 2 was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. 3 was BioShock. 4 was Persona 3. 5 was Portal. I mean, come on. People were mad about Halo 3. I don't know what you were mad about. I don't think I was
mad about anything. You guys did a pretty
You were
good job.
so mad.
I was
like, Jeff,
fucking
stop, calm
furious.
down.
Yes.
Jeff, please, you're hurting me. And you just
wrote my
like,
list,
stop.
but I don't know if I can remember it off the top of my head. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
You had Crackdown on there as one of them.
Oh, that's the one. It's
yeah.
Crackdown.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I think you also had this because me and Mike got shit for putting Persona 3 on there instead of Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, I would.
Oh, we didn't put Mass Effect 1 on there. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put the better game up there instead, so you know it happens.
All right, yeah, that's pretty close to I think what my list was. I like Crackdown a lot, so I'm not surprised I put it there. But I'm also not surprised that you guys didn't. I mean, if I would have talked to that with Mike, I'm sure it wouldn't have made the top 5 either. But Mass Effect, I would have fought for that one. I like Mass Effect a ton.
Man, people were mad at me for not giving Halo 3 love just because I didn't play that much of it. Wait till we get to Halo Reach, a game I did play and was didn't really care for. So we'll see what they think about that.
It was like
we'll see what they think about that.
people were like, Halo 3 is just. I'm like, gosh, I was playing Call of Duty that year. I'm sorry, and that's just what happened. And I apologize, but I don't actually apologize. All right. I'll get the master doc here updated with that here in a second, but let's start 2008. Mike, what do you have in mind for this year?
All right, well, look, we talked about Persona 3, which because of the longer localization for 3 and then the relatively fast localization for 4, Persona 4 was just this year in the U.S., which is so funny to me to think that in the U.S. we got 2 Persona games back to back, and now it's like a matter of like 12 years or whatever it is before you get a new one. Persona 4 is my favorite entry in the series still. I think it improves a lot of things. I think it's a more likable cast of characters. I dig the suburban vibes a bit more. I think even the music is better. Still one of my all-time favorite JRPGs. I do think Golden improved things, obviously, but it's not as much that needed to be improved as even base Persona 3. A lot of stuff here did just work pretty well out of the gate. Gosh, just look at this game.
This is not Golden, right?
This
This is just straight up Persona 4.
It's just straight up Persona 4.
Okay, cool.
It's straight up Persona 4. Yep, one of my favorites. It is a even though like this is such a JRPG, it's like the one I like want people to play, even if that isn't necessarily their thing, because I think it can really suck you in. There's a lot about this game that's just very memorable, very special. It really late PlayStation 2 game, which is like cool. Right? We're in 2008. This is a PlayStation 2 game, and it was one of the best games that year. That's really neat.
Yeah, I'm like looking at this year, and there's a lot of big games, but not many that like really hit super hard for me. And I'm like trying to make sure all these came out this year. But I think I will go with Fallout 3. I like Fallout 3 a lot. And I'm pretty sure that was 2008.
Yeah, Fallout 3 was kind of one of the first Western RPGs I really played. I had not done that much in that genre before, and I got really sucked into Fallout 3. I thought it was a ton of fun, big world to explore, some interesting choices that you can make, kind of getting, even making your character a lot of fun. I haven't played in a while. I don't know how it's aged. I bet maybe in some ways it's not great. I don't care though. That playing that back in 2008 was a very exciting time.
Yeah, I played this game to death and just had a great time. I love the setting of the East Coast around Washington D.C. area, and discovering a lot of those those monuments and seeing them in the game. And it's like it is Bethesda visuals, so it looks dingy, but it fits with Fallout in a lot of ways. And I don't know, I found that environment to be very, very fun to explore. And yeah, it's a memorable game with a lot of cool characters. So yeah, Fallout 3 definitely is up there for me.
Mirror's Edge, 2008. This is like, in terms of like aging, I think this game is actually just aged incredibly well. Every time I play this game, I have such a good time. It's a really snappy, fast-paced game, not super long, but just a ton of fun to play multiple times. It's still gorgeous, very stylized, just making that first-person movement a ton of fun. I love Mirror's Edge. Incredible soundtrack. If this is the game with the actual better Still Alive, I'm sorry, Portal. Oh, love Mirror's Edge. One of my favorites.
Yeah, I like this game a lot too. And I after you played it with the updates on Xbox, I went back and played it as well.
So
Like, it's really well done. And you're right. That helps it stand out how much it's not aged. The design is just so strong. It's got like indie game vibes in terms of like its scope. I think like a game like this could come out today as an indie game. It would just take over for a lot of people. I mean,
it's inspired a lot of indie games, right?
Yeah, like Ghost Runner. Like this feels like Ghost Runner these days, and it's like, yeah, that's a really cool thing. And like EA setting that tone back then. This was like under Jean Riccardi too, and it was like a lot of interesting games they were trying, and it didn't all hit. And a lot of it didn't work for them. But I'm glad they tried these things because I like this game a lot too.
Love it a ton. I think it's made a big impact on the industry.
Yeah. It's tough because I like a lot of these games, but I don't know if I like hold them in a super high regard anymore. But I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know. I think you don't like this franchise too much. I don't think you dislike it, but I think it's Left 4 Dead. I played a lot of Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I like Left 4 Dead 1. It's not. Yeah, you're right. I'm not quite as excited about it as some people, but I'm not gonna disparage Left 4 Dead or anything. I get it, and it was at that point when Valve was the best they ever were. Like the year before this was the Orange Box, coming off of like the Half-Life 2 stuff, Team Fortress 2 and Portal, and then they also did this. It was incredible.
Yes, and it is like one of those early games, those early cooperative multiplayer games that you could play over and over and over again. And it took a while for the rest of the industry to like get to that point, but Valve kind of nailed it right away with this. And it's one of those ones where it could be appointment gaming. Every week you sit down with your friends, you're gonna play Left 4 Dead, and yeah, it's really excellent.
Braid.
Yeah, I thought you might bring up Braid.
I still think I don't know, maybe this is my perception. Braid was important for the idea of indies and digital distribution kind of helping each other become huge. I think it was a big deal for 2D games in general, 2D platformers anyways, having something of a comeback, right? There was just a ton of buzz for this game, and it was really interesting, right? It was like one of those first, like, oh, like it's a 2D game, but it's somewhat subversive, and like the art style is not what you're expecting, but it's familiar. The music's not what you're expecting, but it's familiar, right? And just all the actual like time, like rewind or whatever, slow down puzzles, they were all a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know. I adore Braid. It left a big impact on me. I'm still actually pretty excited for that remaster. I'm glad it finally got re-announced.
Yeah, I've tried it before. It just never clicked with me. I don't love the way it looks personally, but it's not. I mean, again, it's not like a hate thing. It's just like I look at this, I don't feel much of an affinity for the way it looks. But I'm gonna give it a shot. And I love The Witness, and I don't love Jonathan Blow, but like at least one of his games. A whole bunch. But I'll give Braid a chance. I'm aware of like the twist of Braid and all that stuff too, and that makes me more compelled, makes me want to play it more.
The twist. I mean, the twist is interesting. I think it gets a little overblown. Like that's not why the game is good. It's,
right.
You know, there's a lot to it.
I like this game a lot. I wonder how far I'm going to be able to get up the list. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I like this game a ton. Yes, it's really actually, it's probably the best 3D platformer on the 360. It's got that great building mechanic that the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom just straight up took the wholesale. It's a really cool and interesting game, and it's one of those ones that also has actually aged pretty well because of all of the backward compatibility stuff and the FPS boost. It looks great if you go back and play this now.
Yeah, good luck.
Have fun, I guess.
Dead Space. Have fun, I guess. Dead Space 1, Jeff. This is kind of the other EA like new franchise here. Even then, I thought this game was a ton of fun. This it's funny, the first thing I think of is the HUD, right? Because that really did stand out here. It was really cool. The atmosphere, fantastic. It really did capture those kind of alien, like, space station creepiness. The cutting off the limbs was a ton of fun. It was a very pretty game. I was a big Dead Space fan. I know I haven't gotten to play the remake yet. I have to at some point. It's our game club game. We're going to talk about it at some point here at the end of December. But even the original, I thought that was a standout for that generation. Yeah,
I was going to play that remake, and then my mouse and keyboard stopped working in the game, and I just gave up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back to this game when this game is fixed. And maybe it's fixed now for me, but I've not checked. I haven't played much Dead Space. I remember when it first came out, I booted it up, and I was pretty scared of it, so I had a hard time sticking with it. Cowardly, yes, exactly. Nothing against it, once again.
This was like in my big coward phase, but for some reason I was able to play all of Dead Space.
It's just really cool. I mean, it is.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really cool. I think that's right. Exactly right.
Let me ask you about a couple of games real quick. How do you feel about Grand Theft Auto 4?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Look, I was never a big Grand Theft Auto guy, and 4 is weird to me because it seems to be in between like that original PlayStation 2 trilogy, which is groundbreaking, and then 5, which is the biggest game ever. Then in the middle, here's Grand Theft Auto 4, which was sold a ton of copies. It was a big deal. Yeah, but there it is. I don't know. I'm not much.
I know a lot of people who like prefer Grand Theft Auto 4,
sure, but
I always, to me, it always seemed like that was a game they played in a certain place in time, that sort of thing. And I mean, I get that, but that was not me. Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, look, I like that game. It's a very indulgent game, right? In some ways, it's not even a good game. The balance is off. Like, I get what they're going for. Like the cutscene to gameplay ratio is actually kind of insane that it leans that heavily towards cutscene. It's a shame because the gameplay in it is really good. It's a really neat evolution of some of Metal Gear Solid 3's better mechanics. You just don't actually get to do that much of that stuff. The game is kind of bogged down a bit of having to tie all these loose ends together from those games. And it does manage to do it somehow, and that is impressive. And it has some really satisfying moments in the story there. So yeah, I like it. It's a good game, but it's a little messy for me to consider like one of the best.
And then Gears of War 2.
Yeah, look, I don't know. Whenever I think of Gears of War, I think about the first one and then the other ones. But yeah, they made sequels, and they were bigger, for sure, and maybe better in some ways, but they just never left an impact on me like that first one did.
I'm like realizing what happened to me this year why I missed so many of these games. I played a ton of Call of Duty World at War, and I was playing a ton of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That's the biggest thing. But the game I was most anticipating was Spore. That was the thing that I could not wait for. That was this year. I bought hook, line, and sinker, all of those promises, and was just like, this is going to be the forever game. I was so ready. I wrote like some blogs on 1UP about how it's like going to be mind blowing, and I was crying just thinking about the pitch of the game. And then I played it. It's okay. It's just okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Your reality sets in real fast with
Sets
sport
in
about what
real-
video games
real
can
fast.
actually do in 2008, huh?
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, Spore not going to be in the top 5. I always wish it was better. I don't know. There's some other ones came out later. And I think it had more gamey-ass game stuff in there. I never even really gave those a try. The game that I most regret not playing on this list is Far Cry 2, which has a lot of like proto Breath of the Wild kind of stuff in it that I'm like, I wish I would have experienced that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton of other stuff to really add for this year. There's some things like Rock Band 2 I'd be okay with. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but it was very good. No, we're not gonna say anything for Too Human. No Too Human love.
Oh yeah,
it's- what a
that's how I
weird year.
was gonna bring up Too Human as well. Honestly, you know what the game I would put up there because I really enjoyed it when it came out? Mega Man 9.
Oh, I've meant to bring up Mega Man 9. Mega Man 9 rules.
Mega Man 9
Oh,
rules.
Mega Man 9's good.
That's a really
And-
fun game.
It was kind of one of the, at least in my memory, one of the first retro throwbacks, right? Where the whole point is like, we're just gonna make another one like it was an NES
Yep.
game again. Actually, we get that all the time now.
we actually got Bionic Commando Rearmed that year as well, which is actually
That's
pretty
very
decent.
good too.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Mega Man 9. Mega Man 9 is just one of the best Mega Man games. It was even like I was even surprised how they're like, we're gonna go back to like Mega Man 2. Not only are we not gonna have the Mega Buster charging, we're not gonna even have the slide.
Yep.
That's how devoted we are to being specifically like that Mega Man.
And that was cool.
Yeah,
it was
Mega
cool to
Man
like pull
9.
themselves back like that. They made a really fun game around this limited tool set. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. One other kind of like indie game here, Castle Crashers. I like Castle Crashers
a lot. Oh man, I
think
I would like to replay that game.
Yeah, it was a super fun game. This was that time where beat 'em ups were having a rough go of it, so it was exciting to have a fun beat 'em up again. I played a ton of Castle Crash. Really fun 4-player game. Also, it was good stuff. Hey, look, Fable 2 is the best Fable. Still probably not enough to be in the top 5, but if you had to make me play a Fable game, I would like for it to be Fable 2, I suppose.
Mike, I got a bunch of input from the podcast producers. You want me to start reading some of them, or are there any?
Fantastic.
You know what? World of Goo. I like that game. That's the one that I'm like, I played it so many times in so many places that its effect on me faded over time. That's kind of how it feels.
I never had
a
giant affinity for World of Goo.
Mike, I remember listening to Exploding Barrel back at this time, and you being like, yeah, but we're talking about real games when we talk about indie games. That was your face. Yeah.
Nah, but I liked Braid.
Yeah, that's right. No, I
Castle
think Braid
Crashers.
started to change that, but it was like up until that point, it was like well, maybe even with Braid, it might have been like, well, yeah, but that can't be game of the year, like that sort of thing, because it was obviously it's a little thing.
I'm pretty sure I said Far Cry or Fallout 3 is my game of the year back then. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can imagine myself being a shitter like that. Oh my God, we're really starting with this.
From Jad Binks, not everyone's favorite Smash, but I loved my time with it, especially the cutscenes in the Subspace Emissary Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah, look, Smash Bros. Is so good. Smash Bros. Melee was so good that even if you go in and deliberately make it worse, it's still pretty good. But I am still going to resent you for what you did.
Crandus McBasketball says World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, I thought about this because it's an expansion. It is World of Warcraft's best expansion, probably. It was very cool. It was a ton of fun. I don't know if I'm really going to put in top 5. Just expansion, it's always a little weird. Like, I'm somebody who, would not want to make Phantom Liberty Game of the Year, even though most people seem to be fine with that. I was like, nah, it's an expansion.
Conveniently, also don't like Cyberpunk at all. So
yeah, also that game's fucking boring, right? But that's fine, whatever. Wrath of the Lich King, very, very good.
The Baldur Gate Wolf 5 says 2008 is my year. If there are 3 franchises I'm unfairly biased toward, it's Grand Theft Auto, Metal Gear, and Super Smash Brothers. 2008 gave me all 3 of my babies. Just let one of them in, guys, please. These are some of the best games ever made. So Grand Theft Auto 4, Super Smash Brothers Brawl, and Metal Gear Solid 4.
No, they aren't. Maybe GTA 4, and I'll just be like, that's not my thing. I like Smash Brothers and Metal Gear Solid. No, they aren't.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Wolf.
You'll get nothing and you'll like it. Oh my God, what is with everybody?
It's the children, Mike. It's the children who are wrong.
Oh my God, the children. I get it. It was your first Smash Brothers, man.
Bench JC says, I don't get the Brawl hate. It may be because it's the Smash game I grew up on, but I always had a blast when I'm playing this with friends. Also, Subspace is incredible.
Yeah, Subspace is cool. Yeah, sure.
Hey, Jeff, you see what's happening
oh
here?
God.
The
It's
guy who
collusion is
doesn't
what
like items in Smash is all hating on Brawl. Weird how that works. Huh?
Yeah, because they also made all the characters slower and floatier. And by the way, introduced a mechanic where characters randomly fall down.
Yes, but you're looking
like a skill
at
issue.
you're just targeting in on the negatives. Look at the greater
It's a pretty
picture, Mike.
big negative. It's a pretty big negative. Please continue before I die.
I'm trying to think of a way that we can make Mike play Super Smash Brothers Brawl like nonstop for a month on Giant Bomb. I'll come up with something.
God, it would feel so bad.
Piece of shit Bop says I'll be the first to nominate a good game, I guess. Fable 2, it finally was able to succeed in what Fable 1 promised.
He's not wrong. Fable 2 actually better than any game. Okay, maybe not better than Metal Gear Solid 4, but
all while improving
God.
gameplay, the world environments, and giving it even more freedom and choice. Also, easily the best dog mechanics in a game outside of Nintendogs.
Oh yeah, Fable 2 was actually fun. Fable 2 was actually a good game. Then they ruined it with Fable 3, and then really went off the rails.
Jackie G says it's incredibly unbalanced and far from my favorite, but Mario Kart Wii is a chaotic blast. It's the most Mario Party-like game in the series, and for that alone, there's a lot of fun to be had.
No, Mario Kart Wii was actually very good. That was a good Mario Kart. The problem is Jeff never played that much of this, and you know me, I'm not necessarily the biggest Mario Kart player anyway. So
casual with one that I am going to put on the list, Rhythm Heaven.
Oh shit!
I love this game. It's really good on the DS. They had a lot of it is like tapping the screen, but they have this really good flick mechanic where you tap and then flick, and that's like a 2-part rhythm, and that feels so good.
Don't get too excited. This game came out in the U.S. in 2009.
All right, there we go. Fantastic. Good to know. We'll talk about it next year.
Remember for next time. Yep.
Alex says, hell of a year in gaming for me. Solid Lego titles, Valkyria Chronicles, Fallout 3, but unfortunately, I'm a weeb. So Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm was amazing at the time and was received so well by fans. Anime games were cursed to be this style fighter for years to come. It's overused now. This first time with the genre was great, and the story was recreated very well. Yeah, I do remember people talking about this fondly, and I'm like, what? It's just one of those 3D arena brawlers, but apparently this is the reason they're all 3D arena brawlers. Okay.
Well, I'm convinced it's better than Smash Brothers Brawl.
It was the first one to look like the anime actually. It's like
really?
This shit can look It looks just incredible. Yeah, the cell shading was great.
I just remembered a game I meant to bring up. I'm going to be curious to see if anybody in the Discord brings it up. You'll get a gold star if you do now.
Mr. Bowler says, maybe not among the best year of gaming, but 2008 still has some heavy hitters. For me, the best game of 2008 is Fallout 3, although I also really enjoyed Grand Theft Auto 4 at the time.
You know, we maybe are being a little dismissive of Grand Theft Auto 4. Like I get a lot of people do like, and you know, in a lot of ways, Grand Theft Auto 4 is the most Grand Theft Auto game, right? Like I do think of Liberty City first and foremost. It's a pretty pure Grand Theft Auto experience, and I do get and appreciate all that.
I did in our Slack today on Giant Bomb, I did write Grand Theft Auto. And I'm like, mostly I did that because I was thinking I should go back and play San Andreas, but I wouldn't mind replaying 4 as well. So I don't know. I do want to go back and like see these games again so I can really like place them, because Grand Theft Auto 4 just like existed so much at that time, and then I moved on and left it hard in the past and didn't think about it much.
What weird like sexy girl on a GTA cover do you think about more? The San Andreas bikini girl, this girl licking that sucker on 4, or like the girl bending down showing her cleavage in 5? Or
I think about the sucker.
I think that's right.
I think about Sucker Girl. Yeah.
You think about Sucker Girl a lot. Okay.
Yes, I do. Pretty much.
Am I being trolled? What the hell is? Oh, it's Beefhammer. Of course, I'm being trolled by him. All right, go ahead. Read Beefhammers.
Without a doubt, the best game in the series, and yes, this comes from 2-time champ Beefhammer. All right, let me explain why the rest are worse. Smash 64, good, but was improved upon. Melee, I suck at it. Smash 4, it's on the Wii U. And Ultimate includes Sora from Kingdom Hearts. These are really good points, Beefhammer.
These are all terrible points.
And this is why Super Smash Bros. Brawl is the best game of 2008, apparently. Flobotron says 2008, fresh out of high school. Fuck you. And the last games convention in Leipzig, where I scored an internship at EA to make my dream come true and work in the industry. Trademark. Didn't stay in the industry beyond that, but I got a free copy of Battlefield Bad Company, and that game was pretty dope. Maybe the last time DICE made a fun Battlefield campaign, and the Destruction Engine was also super fun in multiplayer. Yeah, I played this game, and I thought about putting it on the list, but I didn't play enough of it, and don't love it the way a lot of people do.
It's just one of the ones I missed for some reason, which is because, people talk about how much they love Bad Company. I always want to go back to it someday, but fortunately, I don't have anything to say about it.
Joy to the World for Zelda They Come says, I'm a big fan of Dead Space, but it might be just because I'm a sucker for the diegetic interface, which we definitely already talked about. Also, shooting the limbs off of monsters was pretty novel at the time. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess shooting them off. I was going to say you could shoot limbs in Resident Evil 4 to affect them. But you could shoot limbs in like GoldenEye and they would react, but I don't know if it had gameplay implications.
No, like this was like such a big part of it. And it felt so satisfying. Just the way that one gun worked, where it's like horizontal line, vertical line. It felt fantastic.
Yep. Dr. Ryan says, I don't know if you count expansions, but Wrath of the Lich King is in 2008 and was and still will be the greatest expansion to any game, MMO or not, to ever be made. Barring that, I would vote for Fallout 3. Sludge Reinhold says 2008 was when I left home for college and I didn't bring a TV or console with me, so I missed most of the games from that year. I didn't play the original Dead Space until earlier this year before the release of the remake, but I was honestly shocked at how well it held up for a 14-year-old game. The art direction and atmosphere are still incredible, and the diegetic UI hasn't really been done as well anywhere else. It's my 2008 game of 2023.
Look at all of our supporters with their big fancy college words. Diegetic. Wow.
Also, shout out to Mirror's Edge for still being one of the best feeling games ever made. It's got the juice.
It's got so much juice.
Yes.
Tons of juice. I mean, it's incredible how EA was making very juicy games at this time. I think they went sharply downhill almost immediately after this, but 2008 was a pretty good year for them.
Is this when they acquired PopCap as well? So they got one of the juiciest games from them in Peggle. So yeah, they were just going for it. Razzle Jazzled, Subspace is still my favorite gameplay / mode in any Smash game. Just beating out Melee's adventure mode. I also love the mini game where you shoot coins and trophies and the stage creator. That said, there's already enough love for Brawl in this thread. Some might say there's too much love. So I'd like to give a shout out to the WiiWare classic World of Goo, an incredibly creative little indie puzzle game. Yeah, it is.
Boom Blocks was also this year. I think I'd take Boom Blocks over World of Goo.
Well, I would too. Boom Blocks
is very different.
Yeah, but Boom Blocks is really fun. How the Grinch Stole Spoon Heaven says, if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it. And that's a reference to Wario Land Shake It, as well as penises. It's also a reference to penises.
I really regret not playing this game back in the day. I remember it was like, I think just like with Wario World, it got like mediocre reviews, probably because it wasn't very long, but who knows. But you look at this game now, this is the best a 2D game from Nintendo has maybe ever looked. It's the one time where they just straight up say like, yeah, we'll just like use animation cells, right? Like what like a lot of indies do for stuff like those Monster Boy games or whatever. So this game still looks fantastic. This would be a great game to get kind of HDified. That would look fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Real quick, we got a relevant super chat from Bench if you want to read it, and from Nintendo.
This is Bench. I'm giving you money so I can yell. The Brawl hate is insane. Also, I was 4 in 2008. Yeah, trust me. I pieced it together. I know why y'all like Brawl so much. Nintendo says, Super Smash Bros. Brawl should be on the list. It had the best single player campaign of any fighting game until Street Fighter 6 came out this year.
Can I ban that guy? Can we ban him?
Yeah, I think all those newer Mortal Kombat's had better single player campaigns.
Not even remote. You shut the fuck up and get off this podcast. What are you talking about, Mike? You were there. They suck.
I'm gonna play Subspace Emissary.
What? You don't like the Mortal Kombat campaigns? They're fun.
No,
I played through all of them just now, and I'll say the only good one is Mortal Kombat 1.
Yes, thank you.
The stories are actually so inane. Yeah, they're bad movies until Mortal Kombat 1, which is a fun movie.
Mike, you're dismissing all the single player content in Brawl, which is where all the casuals come in and they love the game for. You can't just think about
the casuals can put it on their list.
Of course.
I've never played Subspace Emissary. I'm going to play it. I'm going to come back and I'm going to be such a lover of this game, and I'm going to annoy Mike about it. I can't wait.
But yeah, it's a fun mode. It's like it's it's the fun mode. You play for 2 hours and you're done with it, and then you have to play Brawl for the rest of your life. Have fun, I guess.
Screaming Madden says Madden NFL 09 introduced virtual training, which put the player in training session on a Tron football field.
Now Screaming
It
Madden.
also gave the world hologram John Madden, Mike. Hologram John Madden. I'll say it again. Hologram John Madden.
All right.
If that's not enough for a Madden top 5 spot, then I'll say Metal Gear Solid 4 deserves some recognition. It was the reason my family got a
Holy
PS3.
shit. All right, wait a second, Jeff. I mean, you do have to play Subspace Emissary because Grubb Space Emissary is
Okay,
right
there we go. All right, I'll do it.
Jesus Christ. Thank you, Divorce Cougar. Holy shit, how did we not see that?
Hosp says, shoutouts to Fallout 3, the game I completed, felt nothing, replayed 2 years later, and totally fell for the Bethesda magic. There's nothing quite like fast traveling to a place and then just wandering into the unknown. You're right, Hosp.
Into the unknown!
It would be real nice if Starfield had any of that. That would be ideal. But hey, I'll just go back to Skyrim. Always be clothing / Corgi says Persona 4. That is Persona 4.
Every day's great at your Junas. Yeah. Persona 4 is such a charming game. It's such a good. There are vibes in Persona 4, man. I love it.
Low Rule says Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots is my favorite movie of that year. Fair enough.
So look, here's what I'll say about Guns of the Patriots. Like, I played through that game in like one sitting. I did not sleep, right?
Wow.
Like, I got that thing home, and except for like the long load times between discs, like I really could not stop playing it because I was so invested in Metal Gear Solid, and it did do a really good job of like actually answering questions, having some fun surprises, and being fun when you played it. I did like Metal Gear Solid 4. I just see the problems with it also.
Velocity Prime 1 says, majority of my picks are already taken, but let's highlight when a master of one medium transfers their skills to another. That's right, the father of modern blockbusters, Steven Spielberg, graced us all with the delightful puzzle game Boom Blocks. Yeah, I like this game a ton. That's like one of those ones where it's like they combined emotion and physics in a way that's like, oh my god, this is what games can be. And now this is like a little bit taken for granted because this is the whole basis of what like VR is. But Boom Blocks doing it originally was pretty impressive.
Yeah, we played a little bit of this at Dan's during the charity stream. It was still fun.
That's great. Yeah. T Money OG says my vote is for Rock Band 2. So many hours spent playing this game with friends. I'm not sure why, but to me, this is the peak of the series and music games as a whole. Yeah, I like Rock Band 2 a lot. Villain Max says
I played a ton of it.
Yeah, played
a ton of it.
I just couldn't stop playing it. Villain Max says Fallout 3 was the game that made me fall in love with Bethesda games. Rare Monkey says, here, I did the hard part for you. They are even in order. And then there's the Sure from Mike the Sure Mike emoji. Also, I know that the only two that have a chance on your list are Persona and Banjo. We'll see about Banjo, everybody. Far Cry 2, Persona 4, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, Fable 2, and Prince of Persia 2008. That's another one. Don't you like that, Prince of Persia 2008?
No, I'm the one who's baffled at its sudden resurgence.
Right. Recently, it was one of the other.
Everyone's like, that game was actually pretty good. That was one of the most I played that game and felt nothing and remembered nothing kind of games, honestly.
I'm
glad you like it, though.
Yeah. Shout outs to you. Let's see. Adam GC says they started college in 2008, so it started their period where they didn't play a lot of games. See y'all in a couple years. Super Harmon mentions Braid. Wong Gifts.
Well, is Adam a doctor? I played a lot of games in college. But I was an English major. It wasn't
right,
that hard.
Right. You already knew English, so that was kind of cheating.
Yeah, I was kind of cheating. That's when I played like every Final Fantasy was when I was in college. I had plenty of free time.
Yeah, they say English is the hardest language to learn. Yeah, it's weird that for me it's the easiest. So
that is an incredible bit.
Best joke. Yeah. Super Harbin mentions Braid. Wong Gifts has Fable 2, Persona 4, Left 4 Dead. Also mentions that 2008 remake of Prince of Persia. I love the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and I never really played this one. I should go try it. Tokyo Game Life says Super Smash Brothers Brawl. It literally can't get any bigger than this roster.
Yeah. It is funny because like at the time this roster was gigantic, and now I'm looking at it and because of Ultimate, like that's
right, it's like a fraction of Ultimates. Yes.
Right.
Dr. Lynch says this is definitely far from my favorite year in gaming, but I think the game of the year is a cross between Fallout 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4. Will we ever get an easier chance to play Metal Gear Solid 4 without having to whip out the unbearably slow PlayStation 3 again? Yeah, we will.
Yes.
We're going to figure that out. They're going to sell you that game again. Teriyaki Blue says Devil May Cry 4. Do you like this one?
We haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
I like it okay. It plays really well. I know some people were thrown off because like you play through the game and then you basically like retrace your steps again. Doesn't seem to get as much love as 3 does, right? Or even 5 more recently. But it's a good game for sure.
JD Camp says, how many games have helped professional athletes like Wii Fit? And he linked to a story where Wii Fit helped an MLB pitcher lose weight.
Was Wii Fit early this year? Yeah, it was. How about that?
Sasquatch Crossing says Command and Conquer Red Alert 3 for giving us this. And also, let me just unmute this real quick. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Oh, it's so good. Man, I forget how good it is every time, and it just delivers.
He laughs at himself.
He's just like, I can't believe I'm about to say this, and then he still says it, and it's great.
Hey, like I'm usually like I didn't know people liked Command and Conquer that much. I did play Red Alert 3. It's the only Command and Conquer game I really played much of, and it was really good. It was a lot of fun.
They're good games. They did that remaster one of those Command and Conquer games recently, right? And people really were happy with it. I thought so. I can't remember now.
I don't know. Like I said, like I'm just not very tuned into the Command and Conquer world.
Michael Riley says Metal Gear Solid 4, my first game in the series. So boy, was I confused.
Wow, I can imagine.
They're by the way, their emoji here, their icon is Solid Snake. I've now played most of the games, and I'm even more confused than before. Still my favorite series, so Metal Gear Solid 4 will always hold a special place in my heart. Big Tony
we just
says,
got a super chat.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We just got a super chat from Shigeru Miyamoto. It says, "Don't forget Wii music."
Oh, we won't, Shiggy. We won't. Definitely not.
Yeah, don't worry, buddy.
Well, okay, wait. Is this 2008? Okay, hang on. Jamie H. Christmas Eve says it probably won't make top 5, but No More Heroes was a highlight for me. Sure, the open world was sparse, but it had great characters, fun hack and slash combat, and you had to jerk off the Wii remote to charge up your energy sword. What's not to love?
Sure. Yeah, I think I cut you off when but Big Tony's was Mega Man 9.
Oh yeah, yes. Big Tony mentioned Mega Man 9. Tommy Pencil says Dead Space is so good that its remake came out in 2023.
Imagine having a character design as good as Dead Space, and then for the cover you have a severed hand.
Yeah, that's weird. You're right. Although it didn't seem to hurt that game. That game did fine. Lenny Cool Dick Denver says, I think one of these 4 games has a chance of making that list. I really like them, and it's 4 different colors from Metal Gear Solid 4.
It's funny because like the worst looking one is the one that we actually got, or at least the normal one. It's just like
you're right,
like a picture of Snake's rendered face.
Yeah, all these other ones are fantastic. Adam Juice says, got in here too late this time, but just want to say that Brawl is good, maybe. Was my first fighting game I ever went to a tournament for, so it's got a special place in my heart. Vision 49 mentions Saints Row 2, Fable 2, Castle Crashers, but also mentions Bad Company as their big one there. Daism Man 2 says The World Is Not Enough. Or is that what this one is? I can't remember.
Yeah, the world is not. The world ends with you.
The world ends with you. Yes.
Close. Good try. Yes. Which I did forget about. This is a very good game, actually. This is actually one of my favorite DS games. I think I have no chance of like convincing you on it.
I mean,
but it would be in my top 5, maybe.
I actually have a couple other DS games that I'm like want to double check to make sure they came out this year. I'll see if anyone else mentions them. Actually, maybe it's just one other one, but we'll see.
Right. Because I have some other games that I don't know Jess super high on that I'm probably going to go to bat for more. It's funny, through no fault of its own, I don't like World Ends With You as much as I used to because I really did not like World Ends With You Neo or whatever it was called. That sequel did nothing for me whatsoever.
Okay, let's see here. Klaus Raynor says Metal Gear Solid 4. Hammond.
This is a lot more love from Metal Gear Solid 4 than I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of that is like if you had a PlayStation 3 in 2008, what the fuck else were you going to play? I mean,
I guess so.
I mean, so that's not to diminish the game. It's that a lot of people played Metal Gear Solid 4.
And a lot of people really like Metal Gear Solid, I guess. Yeah, but, you know, I don't know. To me, it's just like, yeah, I like Metal Gear Solid 4. Still definitely like one of the weaker ones, if not the weakest one, but I still really like it.
All right. Hammond of Texas says Left 4 Dead. I put hundreds of hours into this one. I always enjoyed playing the survivors versus zombies mode where you had 2 teams of 4 trying to outsmart each other, and you got to play as the special infected zombies. Yeah, I want to do some more gaming like that. Doomino Crossing says Call of Duty World at War. I like this game, but I'm not going to try to get in the top 5.
But Doomino has an edit. It says apparently Mirror's Edge came out this year too, and that's my top 5 all time. So never mind. That is easily my pick.
That is right.
Good job, Doomino. Good job.
Freshly streamed game says Gears of War 2 Love.
Somebody had to.
Slick Stick says if you don't like Ben 10 Alien Force for the Wii, then you're a bitch.
That's fair.
Then he says that game is terrible. B Traven, the really hyped release this year, really hyped releases this year, like Fallout 3, Dead Space, GTA 4, Brawl, COD, all felt like they under-delivered slightly to me. So I'm going with the game that absolutely over-delivered, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with you, Traven.
I'm glad that game's come around at least, because for a while, if you had asked me what the pulse on that game is, it's people think that's a bad game.
Yes, and
which was probably never fair, right? That was never
wrong.
fair. So
It's a really good game. Willow Davis, Super Smash Brothers Brawl, but without mentioning anything negative. Great game. Clink says, oh, look, it's the game that has the best song name still alive, featured in a video game. Mirror's Edge.
Oh, freaking God, Mirror's Edge is so good. God, what a good game. I could play it I could just play through all of it right now and have an amazing time. Okay, somebody's finally no, you're on the right track. You're trying to do some Japanese stuff. Good try, Sean. Go ahead, Jeff.
So yeah, Turbo Sean says Gold Star, Mikey, because Mike says he's got one that no one's mentioned so far. And Sean guessed Lost Odyssey, Valkyria Chronicles, Soul Calibur 4, and Sonic Unleashed.
All right, chat. Who in June chat can guess the JRPG that I actually am thinking of?
Oh, it's a JRPG.
You'll get a gold star. Yes, if you can.
It's Resident Evil
Dragon
Fate.
Quest came out or something,
What?
right?
Well, and there's not Dragon Quest. What did you say, Christian?
Residence of Fate. I don't know when that came out.
It's not Residents of Fate. Nope.
Oh, that game rules though.
Fire Emblem Dragon Sword.
It is Enemy House. Well, let's see. Enemy Mouse just said Tales, but then Nick G says Vesperia. Yes, Tales of Vesperia.
Vesperia, okay.
It's 2008, and probably the best entry in that series. I love Tales of Vesperia. That is a super fun game.
Never finished that game.
I don't know if I can get Jeff to give it a list, but Jeff, I insist you write it down. I like Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah, I already did. No problem. It's there, and everyone can see it, in fact.
And Valkyria Chronicles rules.
You know what? I think we should put Grand Theft Auto on the short list.
Sure, you should probably put it in the short list.
And by that, I mean Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. Get fucked, everybody. That's the real good.
Yeah.
I think
You
so.
know what?
Double check.
I think you might be wrong.
I might be
I'm
wrong.
Not seeing it.
It might be
I think you're just completely wrong.
Let me
It's
see.
good bet,
It's
though.
2009. Get fucked.
It's 2009.
Grubb.
Fuck. Okay. Well, shit.
Fuck.
Man. Google.
That was
Google.
a good
Hey,
bet.
that's Google. That's not on me. That's Google.
You're right, Grubb.
yeah.
You're right.
Let me double check. It was Ghost Trick 2008.
It was not.
That's the
I
2010.
don't
What
think
is wrong with Google? So fucking
Don't
bad.
do Google. Yeah, just go Wikipedia. It's got a Wikipedia. The Google does not
There's
know.
too many games on Wikipedia. They have all
Google
of
will
them.
be like, well, like the version for this came out then or something, like for phones, and then it will post that. So don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They also have Elite Beat agents here, and that's just that we did that last time. Okay. Well, in that case, here's what we have so far, audio listeners. Persona 4, Fallout 3, Mirror's Edge, Left 4 Dead, Braid, Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, Dead Space, Mega Man 9, Castle Crashers, Rhythm Heaven, Tales of Vesperia, and Grand Theft Auto 4.
All right. Well, Jeff, fair is only fair. Look, it was actually the most brought up game in the thing with Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I think you should put it on there so we can consider it.
All right, Super Smash Brothers.
All right, I considered it. Get it the fuck out of there. That game is garbage and it's an insult.
Yeah, listen, I don't know why people ever thought that stood a chance on a Mike Minotti co-authored list. But hey, do what you got to do. Okay. Mike, listen, I don't feel too strongly about any of these games, I'm going to be honest.
Oh,
okay. I like Fallout 3. And honestly, if I could maybe okay. Rhythm Heaven, I like a lot. I would try to get that in the top 5. And then the one I would sneak on there, if possible, would be Banjo-Kazooie, but I'm not going to really think that that's possible. But let's see. I don't know. What do you think should go up?
Yeah, because I'm surprised. There are quite a few games I do feel strongly about, actually. I do like Fallout 3 a lot, and it was my game of the year at the time. I think that's definitely on the list. Fallout 3 is definitely on the list, actually.
Okay.
I like Fallout 3 a lot. And then I would honestly gosh, there's a lot of games here I like. Geez, I wouldn't feel next most strongly about Mirror's Edge, actually. I freaking love Mirror's Edge.
I like Mirror's Edge a lot, too. Well, okay, well, let me ask, where's Persona 4 go?
Persona 4 goes on there. It doesn't have to go necessarily like number one.
Okay, well, I'm just
This is a game
I'm
that
just
gets
moving
better
that for
later.
now. Yeah.
How do we? I have a question. How do we feel
Yes.
about Persona 4 Golden?
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
the
better,
best
but
version.
yeah, well, we did that last in Persona 3, and that like Persona 3 got improved much more than base Persona 4
Okay,
did.
I'll also say this isn't how we do things around here, but I did look ahead a little bit to 2012. I'm not sure Golden quite makes the cut. So if you want to give some flowers to Persona 4, it might be here.
2012, a good
I
year.
remember 2012. It wasn't a better.
It's
than
not
Persona 4
great, but I think
Golden
there's
in
just
2012.
enough that you guys
Well, I
might
mean,
squeeze it out.
Well, because it'll be at that
It's
point
okay.
a remaster, anyways. And then, man, like Jeff, there's like a ton of games here I still really like a lot at this point, like a Braid, even a Dead Space, Mega Man 9, Vesperia. But I mean, look, here's the problem, Jeff. Like, yeah, like the ones you want to push, I think, are like the two I care about the least. Probably that's where we are on this. A little
Well,
bit.
here's the other one that I like a lot is Mega Man 9. So if you want to move that up, I'll get behind it, and then I would just be happy to sneak Rhythm Heaven in. But
And it's
okay.
a weird fucking list.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Listen, if that doesn't work for you, brother.
It might work. Well, look, I mean, I like it. Okay, well, do it. Let's. Well. Okay, yeah. Put those two up there. Let's see it.
All right. Let's see here.
All right. I am asking this as a serious question, and to be clear, it doesn't matter what I think. You obviously, I'm kind of dominating this list a bit.
Well,
You
yeah,
get what
and
you
again,
want.
I'm okay with that. Like I said, I don't feel strongly about any of these games.
Am I insane for thinking Rhythm Heaven's a little bit of a weird pick? I like Rhythm Heaven fine.
I don't know. For me, it was like such a standout game that year.
Wait a
Rhythm
second.
Heaven
Wait a
was
second. Did you
2009.
beef it again?
Oh, is that not a 2008? Is that 2009?
We already talked about that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I told you this
Okay,
came out in
today.
That's right. I told you it came out
That's
in
right.
the
Yes,
US.
that's right. I wrote it
Oh,
down
thank
just
God
without
I'm
thinking.
saved.
Okay, yes, so you're saved. There you go. Okay, well,
Thank you, chat.
All right.
Oh, I'm saved.
Well, in that case, I want to get Banjo Kazooie up there if possible. But
No, I'll tell you what else, maybe. Now I feel okay. I'm a jackass because I have dominated this list, but there's also a part of me, Jeff. It's just like you want Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts on there before Braid
Yes.
or Dead Space
Yes.
or Left 4 Dead
Yes.
or Grand Theft Auto.
Yes,
would
definitely.
I'd rather you put Smash Brothers Brawl on there than Banjo Kazooie
Okay,
nuts
but
and bolts.
I get it, you don't like it, but what does that have to do with me liking it a lot? Like, Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is awesome.
I can convince you you're wrong.
You can fix me, Mike. Yeah, you can do it. No, you're wrong about Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
You scroll down. I need
You are
to
still
see the
carrying
other
around
nominees.
the popular consensus at the
I
time,
mean, to be
which
clear,
was
I did
wrong.
Play it, and to be clear, I played it. And I kind of agreed with that negative percent. I thought it was lame. I didn't like
it's
that
awesome.
direction for it.
Well, yeah,
thought,
right, but it's like I get like you're expecting one thing and they're changing things up and be like, oh, this is a weird direction for it. In a vacuum, when you don't take it on its own terms, though, it's a really well made 3D platformer with a lot of cool ideas.
I feel okay. Look. I gotta give it for you. I gotta give it to you. But and this is toxic of me because again, it's completely unfair. I got a lot of my shit on here.
I mean, listen,
And
if you want to
I'm
move
still
Mega
gonna
Man
be-
9 down and put something else up, that's fine. You can have 4 games, Mike. You can have any 4 games you want.
I understand. I'm being a piece of shit. I get it. I know. I can't help myself. I'm seeing a lot of important seminal games being left off this list for a game called Nuts and Bolts. For a game with the word nuts in the title.
Well, listen, we love nuts here.
I'm
All
gonna
right, so wait,
pass
so
out.
you're just gonna feel bad if we don't have.
Okay, listen, I think I want Braid on there instead of Mega Man 9.
Okay, fair enough.
God damn it.
All right, there we go.
Then you can go ahead and fucking. Can we put Mirror's Edge at 1?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever's gonna make you feel better.
And then Fallout 3 at 2.
Yeah, and then Persona 4 at 3 or 4.
At 3, please.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
And look, hey, you know what? Go ahead, put Nuts and Bolts above Braid.
Okay, hey, yeah, I'll take it. Hell yeah, we did it, everybody.
Why the fuck not? Oh, Jeff. Jeff, we've had some unpopular lists. In general, that's both of our faults this time because we're leaving. People are gonna have some thoughts on this one. I'm kind of excited for it.
I think you're gonna be surprised by just the amount of love you're gonna get for being brave enough to put Banjo-Kazooie on your list, Mike. It's
I'm probably going to be screamed at for Brawl, which I don't understand where the turnaround for that happened. I know what it is because all these children have grown up and got social media accounts.
All right, Mike, read this top 5 to everybody. Try not to laugh. Do it without laughing.
I failed. Number 1 is Mirror's Edge. Number 2 is Fallout 3. Number 3 is Persona 4. Number 4 is Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. And 5 is Braid.
That sounds
People aren't
right.
happy about Braid, to be fair, but I get it. You were too young for it at the time. I get it, guys. Maybe they added tripping and Braid. Maybe they added a mode where Sonic the Hedgehog showed up. You'd all be happier about it. I don't know. I'm being I'm being a little shit today. I kind of love it. I'm in my little shit era.
This is good. This is a good way to be, I think. All right, why is this not working?
Is your tweets loading again? Did you remember last time it was because you had some kind of weird browser extension that was slowing everything down?
Yeah, but then I uninstalled that and I thought it fixed it, and then it did it on a completely unrunrelated browser that has no extensions. So I'm like, well, I don't even know anymore. It's a bad website, is what it is.
I only messaged you this because I was a coward to tweet it, but I thought it's really weird that I wanted to get a Dragon's Dogma 2 screenshot, so I wanted to go to the Dragon's Dogma website. I had to put in my birthday, and I don't have to do that for like Pornhub anymore. So
you do have to do you have to do that because that's like complying with like the ESRB rules and stuff. Like,
so we have to like pretend that the ESRB is real.
Yes, that the whole point is to pretend it's real so that the government doesn't step in. Like that's the whole idea. Yeah. All right, I tweeted it. Can't wait to see the responses. One more time, everybody. Mirror's Edge, Fallout 3, Persona 4, Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, and Braid. It's 2008, and that's the definitive best games of that year. If you play those 5, you're going to have played the 5 best games of 2008. All right, let's take another quick break, then we'll come back and talk about some games, everybody. See you in a moment.
I'm going to take Penny out.
From Quality Beats, 2 stars. Corporate shields. You just can't trust these game critics anymore.
I love every one of our reviewers. Whatever you got to review us.
Thank you.
Okay. It's most people are just going to be mad that Grand Theft Auto and Smash Brothers aren't on there. That's what's going to happen.
Probably Metal Gear Solid 4 more. Because
actually, you're right.
Metal Gear
Solid 4
who are like Mike.
Yes, you're right.
I have always hated Brawl. Even though, by the way, me and my friends were learning how to fucking drive. I was not a child when that game came out.
Well,
but that's okay.
I think in your country they let people drive too early.
Well, Jeff, I need to teach you how to use this website. If you want maximum engagement, you need to put below the list all the games that aren't on the list, suckers, and then put all the good games.
Runner-ups.
All right.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's like
people to get mad about.
Next time. Yeah.
Oh, Order of Ecclesia came out that year. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, I should have mentioned that, but then I got too honed in on Banjo, and I'm like, there's no point in messing this up now.
None of the games I like made the list, so
Order of Ecclesia is really good, and actually probably should be on the top 5.
It's a very good game.
Oh well.
Left 4 Dead 1 is better than Left 4 Dead 2. Fuck everybody else. I was just gonna say that the other fucking weapons.
Lucy's mad at us for leaving off the Lost Via Domus game, Lost Via Dormis, whatever the fuck it's called.
Sure.
Man.
Yeah, I'm sure she's very serious about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's gonna yell at me. Didn't Viva Pinata fill the void left by Spore? Yeah. Viva Pinata. Well, no, because nothing is actually like Spore, but Viva Pinata is great at least, and Spore isn't. Like Viva Pinata a lot. That's one I want to replay as well.
Dude, people were so excited for Spore. That was so weird.
I was so excited for Spore. I don't know. Did you watch his GDC talk about it? I lost my mind for it.
It was crazy.
Well, back then?
Yeah, back then. Yeah.
Nah, this was when I was first starting to read more magazines than just Nintendo Power and everything. Right. And I was like, oh, why are people excited for this weird little animal creation game or whatever hell it is? I don't get the hype, but sure, you do you.
Right.
Oh, wait, I can't.
I literally have thousands of
Mike,
hours.
We need you, Mike. We need you.
You know what? Left 4 Dead 2 is better than Left 4 Dead 1.
Do you need me to give you the 2007 games?
Yeah. Yeah, what are the 2007 games?
1 is Mario Galaxy. 2 is Modern Warfare. 3 is Bioshock. 4 is Persona 3. And 5 is Portal.
I love how you're giving me shit over my Mario Galaxy takes when I put it on number 1 with you.
I wasn't giving it to you. I was giving Rebecca shit. What are
Three,
you talking about?
3 was Bioshock, and then what?
3 was Bioshock, 4 is Persona 3, 5 is Portal. I don't even remember you. Oh, that's right. You did say something. I forgot about what you said, Sean. Not everything's about you.
Yeah.
All right,
From
there we go.
Shigeru L. Klein. Couple of freaks. One of them inhales their dad's feet dust. 5 stars.
That's true.
That's true.
5 stars, yeah. All right.
Yep, 5 stars.
That's all it knows.
People aren't
Thank you
gonna
so
like
much.
this.
Okay. Let's bring it back.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's bring it back, brother.
And we're back, and we're talking about video games. Mike, all I've been playing is Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah, I bet you have. You've lost a few nuts and bolts, I think.
That game rules. Okay, so I started today really playing a Steam World Build, which is a game that's going to be out tomorrow, and it's going to be on Game Pass, and it rules. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those one more turn city builder games. Obviously, it's really dialed in to make you lose a lot of time very quickly, but it also isn't. It doesn't feel like it's going to go on and on and on. It feels like these campaigns are relatively tight, where you can get through one of them in like 10 to 12 hours, which I appreciate. And I'm about halfway through that right now. And the cool thing about it is that they give you multiple things to manage. So you have your like ground floor where you're building the city and your people live up there, and all of these things feed into one another. So you have to build housing for your workers, and then you need to give them the things they need. And if they're happy enough, then you need to upgrade some of their homes to be engineers. And then if they're happy, they'll upgrade into aristocrats. And if they're happy, then you can upgrade them into scientists. And so it's like
That kind of sounds like Anno.
yeah, I
Anno
bet
does something similar.
I bet they're taking a lot from like a lot of the games in this genre. It doesn't feel like they're trying to do anything too new. What it seems like they're trying to do is bring that Steam World really refined loop to the genre, and that feels like they really accomplished that. So that's happening on the top level, and everybody has these needs and everything. As you go up that tier list, everything requires multiple things inputting into like warehouses, and then those warehouses send out the goods out to manufacturing plants to make moonshine or whatever, and that's super satisfying. But then you also can unlock the mine shaft, and you go underground, and now you're doing like a little bit more of an exploration game underground, as you have your characters dig out the dirt, and you need to be putting out pylons to keep the cave from falling in on you. And you need to improve your tools by building new machines to make improved tools, so you can dig out more powerful rocks and stuff like that. It's one of those games, and that's satisfying. And then on top of that, there is like a little bit of a tower defense-y sort of thing, where underground eventually you'll encounter enemies, and you'll need to have defensive things built around your structures and your machines to protect them once those enemies start to attack. And you can clearly see where those enemies are. You know when you're going to provoke them, so you can prepare for battle first. And it's like juggling these things is really satisfying. Every loop like feeds into one another, and I'm just having a really good time with it. It's a really well made one of those. I am happy to like be back in the Steam World universe. Like they're doing like some small narrative stuff where they're like, we're going to go out to space. And a lot of the other Steam World games have taken place in space. So you get the sense that like, oh, all these things are tied together. And obviously they are, but it's not some huge narrative. And I just, it's something that's easy to ignore, which I appreciate as well. I don't know if other people are going to be like, oh, I wish there was more story here or something like that. But for me, I'm happy with the level of story in it. But yeah, I sat down to play it today and couldn't put it down. And it's really well done. One of those.
You know, I'm not hearing like a ton of noise about this game outside of you. I wonder if that's just a consequence of the way that this year is. People are still just playing those really, really big games, or maybe I'm just kind of missing that discourse. I don't know.
You know, it is an indie game from Thunderful that isn't out yet. Like it's out tomorrow. So maybe, you know, and it is like one of those games where people are going to have to like play for a handful of hours to really understand how all the systems are working. And so I imagine that it's going to take a little bit before people are going to feel comfortable commenting on it. But I bet it's going to get some traction coming out of Game Pass. And it's going to be like, oh, yeah, you should try this. This is really satisfying, because it is. It just is really fun to play. But I wouldn't be surprised, Mike, if you're right as well, where it's going to be easy to be like, oh, I'm still catching up on this and that. And people are like, I'm going to go back to Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which fucking Dan is doing right now. It's going to be easy to ignore this. And like even Avatar, I think is going to have a little bit of a hard time, but we'll see. I don't know, Mike, what have you been playing?
I went back to Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
You did. You're doing this too?
A little bit, because, I put it up with the PlayStation 5 to play something else that I'll talk about, but I decided to transition to this because of that. You kind of set me up there for layup. It's funny. I've been kind of talking some shit about this game, and I started playing. Like, this game's a lot of fun, actually. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with this. I kind of wish I had time to play through all of it now.
Yeah,
but
that's man, that too. I think I might play it on the plane. I might switch over to PC and leave my PS5 save behind and play it on the plane.
And I can't do that. But I only got to play a little bit of it. I was like, man, this game does feel good. I wish I could play more of it. What I was doing more of was playing Final Fantasy 16, trying to play more of that. I mean, look, any hopes of me beating that before I'm like going to LA, that's not going to happen. But that's okay. Like, I do like the game. I don't think it's going to appear in my top 10. There's just been so many good games. And like, there are issues with 16. Like, like honestly, the last few hours of it, it's like not much has been happening, right? Like 16 has these incredibly high highs.
I agree.
Where you're fighting like
the music
Titan.
Yep.
And it's like a Godzilla fight. And then there's times where I'm just like talking to a person and they didn't like mocap the mouth movements and they want me to go fight bees. And then I go fight bees and it like literally takes 2 seconds. And then you go and talk to them some more about how you fought the bees.
And you can't like grab the game and shake it and like, what the hell are we doing here? Why are you like this? And then you get back to like one of those really great moments and it's like, okay, why not focus on this instead? I am confused about like why they thought they needed that. I guess people say that's like some really Final Fantasy 14 ass bullshit, but I don't know. Is it?
Well, it kind of does remind me of MMO stuff, but I don't know. The vibe is a lot different in MMO stuff.
Of course.
That's for sure. But yeah, I was thinking that a little bit. It's like, why are there like MMO quests in here? You really shouldn't have quests like that. Like, Witcher 3 kind of ruined that forever, right? Like, Witcher 3 is the ones like, we don't have boring side quests. All the side quests are kind of interesting now. Yep. So it's kind of weird to see any game sort of fall back on bad habits.
And it definitely feels like Final Fantasy 16 was like a game that's like from people who had at least played The Witcher. And then it's like, but why didn't you like take these lessons? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you kind of wish the game was more Witcher, and instead it really, and I said this from the beginning, it really is more like God of War, like Ragnarok style, and a bit of Devil May Cry. And look, I still like it. I think in the combat system is a lot of fun. I think a lot of the characters are a lot of fun, although there is the weirdness of this being that game famously where the director's like, no black people, and then turns out the story is about slavery. So it's a little weird. It's a little weird. But, it's a little bit weird, but I still am enjoying playing it, and I still am going to continue to play it. I'm going to see that one through.
Yep, I'm glad I played the amount of it I played, and then when I fell off of it, I was like, no harm, no foul. I think I got the good stuff out of that game for the most part. Maybe I missed some of the cooler set pieces later in the game, but those early set pieces are also very good. And the what are they called? Dragoons. That moment where that dragoon is on top of the building and the music.
That's correct.
That is
the music hits, and he does
cool.
And he does the pose from the Final Fantasy IV logo.
Yes.
I love that.
Me too.
The music is so good.
Yep.
I still like, this is the one I would push for best soundtrack.
It's very, very good music.
So
it really
good.
is.
And like the guy who composed this music was also composing the Final Fantasy 14 music and battling cancer at the same time. So
I wouldn't argue that. I really like the music in this game a whole ton.
Don't worry, I'm gonna play the cancer card a ton. So get ready.
I look forward to that.
Really tasteless. Okay. It's gonna be real tasteless.
You should have played that against Banjo. You could have got it off the list.
I was trying to figure out the cancer angle
Of course, you're cracking your brain. Sure, yeah. Also, we forgot Order of Ecclesia. You could have said that, and I would have been like, fine, I won't put.
Well, it's in a super chat. I don't know. I never actually got to play that much of Order of Ecclesia.
Okay. Order of Ecclesia is the best 3DS one, or best DS one.
Really DS. Yeah. I want to play it. I keep kind of waiting for a chance. That's the one with the Gosh, it was like Stacy Keibler in that Day of Reckoning WWE game. Like, man, you're making it. It's just a bare back, but somehow it seems decent. It looks so good.
Yep. Absolutely. I don't. Anything else, Mike?
I mean, I said Killer Instinct, very good. I want to play more of that. It's a ton. It's not quite what I was expecting. I didn't realize how flexible the combat system was. Like, I know the game is all about combos, but I thought like it was traditional combos, like, you know, push this button and this button, this button. The way they actually work, where you kind of like are chaining specific beginners, linkers, and then enders, and there's like a lot of complexity to that, and
that
the way your component can kind of guess which buttons you're pushing to counter it. It's very interesting, and it's interesting in a way that you understand right away. Like, I basically been playing the game for 2 days, and of course I don't understand like the bigger complexities, but I get it. Like, I get the game now. I understand what I need to do. So really enjoying it, and it's fun that this game's getting a new life, but I really, really do hope that they just make another one with like very similar mechanics.
I mean, I think they're going to make another one. They keep wanting. They even said like we would love to make another one. They're going to make another one, and I think Iron Galaxy is going to oversee it, and I think that would be fantastic because they really seem to understand what made that game good in the first place when they took it over from Double Helix. I think that's right.
Okay, well now wait. So, I mean, this back is even more decent than I thought. This Order of Ecclesia box art. I mean, it's going all the way down to the crack.
Oh, let me see
Jesus.
that. Oh, we get some ass cleavage.
Yeah, just look at that. I mean,
I definitely remember thinking that.
It's in the chat right now, like the YouTube chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted it.
Man, I forgot. That is back.
Part of the back, so.
I think at that point it's the ass. Once you see the crack, that's no longer your back.
Yeah,
that's
and not even just the crack. Once you start to
both.
see the back begin to have that bump of the butt cheeks, the buttocks, that's a buttocks. It's a butt.
I think a part
There's
of
a line.
It's like those two circles.
You're just saying that because you're used to those Latino women with big butts.
Couldn't even finish. Incredible.
That's so too real.
All right, what was that? Yeah, Chance of Sinar. That shot up to the top, like near the top of my game of the year list. This is a
Really?
yes. Because
What?
Okay,
Don't tell me that. I got no time for that.
Let me be clear
How dare
here.
you?
How did you feel about Oberden? I know you played it recently. I think you were trying to spare my feelings.
I liked it all right.
Okay,
I didn't quite
fuck off.
get
Then
it
don't
like
play
some
this.
people did.
Then don't play this.
Sorry.
What you, Mary Kish and Mike Mahardy are like, whatever, Oberden. And I'm like, this is a religious experience for me.
Yeah, I think that's the problem is people like you talking about being a religious experience. And I was kind of like waiting for that. I was like, oh, I get it. Okay.
So
cute.
Chance of Sinar is a lot like that, but with language instead of
Better than Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, I guess. It's way better than Smash Brothers Brawl. I can't believe that's even on your Twitter. Like, people, where's Smash Brothers Brawl? Like, how? That game's legacy is negative. You people are insane. I'm sorry.
Mike,
I'm so sorry for bringing it back.
Since you brought it up, I wanted to mention one that might give you a pop. No, you're gonna like this. Someone said, "Where's Brawl?" and someone responded with, "It tripped on its way to top 5."
There it is.
You shit. That's good. Who said they get a gold star? Never mind. They get it.
Oh yeah,
I like it.
Man, all I've seen in my responses is Banjo-Kazooie's Nuts and Bolts is getting the love it deserves. Yeah,
because all the other people just never played it. So what are they gonna say?
Oh my god. All right. Yeah, Chance of Sinar is mind blowing.
What do you think that game sold? 100,000 copies?
Yeah, okay. It didn't sell very well. What did it? Yeah, you probably got like 300,000 copies. No, of course, but it should be shamed for its failure and put in a hole.
Punching down.
Yeah, of
We're
course.
punching down.
Chance of Sinar is a game where it's like there are made up languages and they are mostly symbol based languages, and you need to reverse engineer how they're working so that you can decode them and understand what these people are saying, what these machines are trying to do, things like that. And it's not prescribed to you. You need to figure it out on your own. And usually this works. You go around the world and you see enough clues, and then your little guy that you're playing as draws some pictures in the book and creates little circles next to them, and you're supposed to put the symbols next there to be like, this means that. This means book. This means plural. Things like that.
Oh, speaking of Mary Kish, I think I saw her play this game at some point. Maybe this sounds familiar.
Yeah, probably. I think she likes this game. Yeah. So it's cool because like you start on this area and there's one like language, and then you go to the next area and you're like, it's probably gonna work the same. And it's like, no, this language has different syntax and different rules, and they put the subject at the beginning, like some languages do, like Yoda, the way Yoda speaks. That's how they work. And then other ones are like, this is a very scientific culture, and they're gonna have lots of like numbers, and the way that they do their math is like it can go up to a number can go up to 1,000. You got to kind of figure out how that works. And all of these things are, there's no combat. It's all just intuiting how these systems actually function, and having that opportunity to like use your brain to reverse engineer that is what I really like in games like this. And I got that feeling from Oberdin. I get it from this, and it's blowing my mind. So really, really like it. And I'm glad games like this keep getting made, because I'm like, Oberdin seems like so hard to make. How do you even test a game like that? How do you know if it's balanced for a new player or something like that? And I'm like, it seems really difficult. So the fact that more and more games are kind of coming out in this vein, it's very exciting to me. So yeah, this is in my top 5 for sure.
Top 5.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
It just fits with the way I like to play games a lot.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's it's below Resident Evil 4 though, right?
I mean,
yeah. Right.
Yeah, man.
Look, I've already popped so many blood vessels. Just lie to me.
Yeah, and I said, yeah. I said, yeah, man.
Yep. Yeah, lie better.
Oh, yeah. Better. I mean, of course, Mike. Yeah, like this. Resident Evil 4 is like it's one of the best action games ever made. I mean, it probably is the best action game ever made.
Yeah, I agree. Actually,
I do too. That's why I said it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
Mike, I love Resident Evil 4. What do you want from me?
I'm just glad you played it. Whatever. You played it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah.
Right.
Please say it. Say it again.
Hey, also, apparently, I was pretty close. But Nuts and Bolts sold about 140,000 apparently.
Wow, man. That's why we don't get new Banjo-Kazooie games.
No, well, obviously. Yeah, that's why we don't. Absolutely.
All right, that's what I've been playing. I've been catching up on Baldur's Gate 3, but I think I'm putting that aside. I wanted to play Alan Wake 2 on stream, but now I'm at a point where I just got to play that on my own. So I'll beat that game here at some point, and then other than that, it's I don't know. I might play a little more Survivor. That might be the other game here. So, but
yeah, I mean, gosh, it's like this game is fun. I wish I could play all. It's so. I mean, I did a good job playing and beating a lot of games this year. I just did. I don't ever want to, right? But even still, I feel bad about missing some games.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Same. That's why you have to have groups of people come together and figure these things out.
Yep. Absolutely. And I look forward to doing that. Starting tomorrow, everybody. Tune in at noon Eastern, I think. Yeah.
Are you gonna send me that doc by the way, or am I just gonna find about these categories on the fly?
I can send it to you right now. Sean can send it to you probably. I don't know. I think Sean has it. So.
Yeah, I can send it to you.
Yeah, send it to him.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, Mike, should we get out of here?
Well, we got some more super chats still.
After these super chats. All right, go ahead and hit me with them.
Yeah, let's see. Where were we? I think there was quite a few. Where are we? Okay, right here from El Grug. When you guys have your Edge and Christian-like feud, I think we're having it right now. Which one of you will act kind of normal, and which one will send a dinosaur to kill the other one? Well, what do you think, Jim?
Wait, what?
Not you, Christian. A different Christian.
No, but somebody sent a dinosaur? What the fuck?
Yeah, watch AEW. Come on,
I mean, one of the men controls a dinosaur. Do you even understand wrestling?
It's incredible. I need to get on that shit right the fuck now.
Yeah, I think, to be clear, I'll be the one with the dinosaur killing. Me and my friends had a thing we would say to each other. Like, whenever we were mad at each other, we would say, I'm going to send a predator to kill you. I don't know why that was our go-to. We were going to send the movie character, a predator, to go.
Oh, not any predator. You're going to send the predator.
The predator.
Capital P, predator.
Somehow we have the ability to sickum on people.
For some reason, I just thought you meant like a predatory animal, and I was imagining like, oh yeah, like sending like a badger at him or something like that.
No, we're going to send the predator.
Oh, fantastic.
Shigeru Miyamoto says, me and my friend Cool Chris played Wii Music during Thanksgiving dinner. Definitely one of the top 5. Man, how did we not even think about playing Wii Music at the thing? I don't even know if Dan has Wii Music. I don't know if I've ever played more than like 10 seconds of Wii Music at a Best Buy.
Yeah, I don't think I ever really played that game.
Imagine trying to have fun with Wii Music. Maybe it can be done. I doubt
impossible.
Jacob Bench says, this is Bench JC. I'm giving you money so I can yell. Oh, the Brawl hates insane. That's right. This is one of the Brawl ones. Here's the other Brawl one. Here's Miyamoto talking about Wii Music again. Grug says, make Dan teach you about Command and Conquer. He had
really
some
likes
cool
Command and Conquer.
swag. That's interesting because he doesn't strike me as an RTS guy like at all.
Because he would just build the biggest army of dumbass shit and then just send it all at once, and that's how he would play those games.
I could see that. Matt Remucky says Nuts and Bolt and Persona 4 made the list, just like I said. Yeah, there you go. Uncharted Wolf says Order Ecclesia was 2008 too. GTA 4 disrespect. Yeah, I do feel bad. Like GTA 4 just doesn't do more for me. And Order Ecclesia, I want to I kind of like want to play that now. It's just I don't have a copy of it for my DS. I don't really have my DS ready to go either. And I'm playing through Star Ocean on my Switch anyways. That's my portable gaming right now. Michael Leary says, you're about to be canceled for this list, and I'm here for it. Go for it. Do it. Do your worst.
Yeah, come at us.
Man, look, if saying Smash Bros. Brawl is not that good, then is that something you're going to cancel me for? Then just cancel me already. Just get me out of here. God fucking damn it.
I did get one that says, y'all legit looked at GTA 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Brawl and decided to instead put in Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. This is why there are still wars in the world. So, yeah.
I am just so confused. Was I actually living in some bubble where everyone's like, guys, the fans modded Brawl so much to make it playable that it became a new game. That's how
What type of fan?
The
fans
people who actually played the game the most. Not the people who were 5 and played it for a weekend after their friend's Greg's house, after their mommy gave them milk and cookies. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I love it so much.
All right. Hey, you Peekaboo says, you chose a game by Piss Jug Dude over a game that you could defend Helm's Deep from a zombie invasion. Nuts and Bolts. What game can you defend Helm's Deep from a zombie invasion? I mean, there was that. Was this the year that Lord of the Rings game that was like Battlefront came out? I did like that game.
That game ruled.
I don't think it's gonna make any top 5
I mean,
lists.
it's better than Battlefront 2, of course. I mean,
You motherfucker, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna get you.
Look,
one of the days.
I can't. We can't do that.
I'll say,
Already.
Piss Jug was a misunderstanding. Like he was tweeting a picture of something that he was putting into the Witness as like a reference to the character that is stuck in the Witness. It appears in that.
Look
game.
at this Jonathan Blow defender over here.
There's plenty of real reasons to think he's a weird dude. Although that Piss Jug moment was a really cool moment on Twitter when everyone's just like, what is Piss Jug over here? What's he doing with this thing? That was good stuff.
Nick here says, first super chat, by the way. Thank you, Nick. If you smoke weed and you get high, you should watch Soulja Boy's Braid review. I remember that. I do not remember that. That was a thing. And then Connell Wood says, Ecclesia robbed. Shinoa has an incredible design. She sure does, doesn't she? Isn't Shinoa the name of Monk's assistant? That name's a little rude for me as a Castlevania.
Isn't it the name of the evil organization of Final Fantasy VII or some bullshit? I don't know.
No, that's Shinra. Shinra.
Right.
Yeah. Good, close.
Yeah, close. I get points.
All right.
Should I do it?
I guess. Yeah. Well,
you okay, Mike?
Nothing's gonna ever. No. I am actually confused. I have a Bernstein Bears moment. I'm worried I slipped into another dimension.
You were a Melee player. Probably the places you spent like time online were from people with a similar background.
Yes. I guess you're right. They all hate it.
Yeah. Right. So, I
guess you're right. I guess I was just in a bit of an echo chamber. But to be clear, I agree with that echo chamber.
Right. Yes.
But yeah. All right. I'm glad you all like Super Smash Bros. Brawl. It just wasn't for me. Sorry.
All right. It just frozen for me again. We should end this show. All right, Mike, you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, we're done. We're done here.
All right.
You gotta go to LA.
Yeah, it's happening. It is actually happening. I gotta pack a bag. I gotta pack a fucking suitcase because I'm gonna be gone for more than a week. Or about a week. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
I'm gonna be gone for a week.
Yeah, I'm
gonna get there a little earlier than you.
Yep. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot, but looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time. But starts tomorrow. Game of the year starts tomorrow, everybody. We got 7 categories. Looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely tune in. Mike, where can people find you on the internet?
Tokoto everywhere. Yeah, just check out all this giant bomb stuff. We're gonna be doing some fun, but also go to GamesBeat, support me and my team over there. Always appreciate it. New 90s Disney coming out tomorrow about the Candlelight Processional, a bit of a Christmas tradition from Epcot in Disneyland. So check that out tomorrow at 90sdisney.com.
I'm Jeff Grubb on Twitter, Jeff Grubb on Twitch. Who knows when I'll have time to stream again. I would like that'll happen at some point. Yeah, I don't know. Like Mike said, tune in for that giant bomb stuff. We did a new Blight Club yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Listen to the voicemail dump truck from today. That was a lot of fun. You could hear Jan.
A lot of it was about me, and I wasn't even there. It was about me a lot.
Yeah, it's a show just about Mike Minani mostly, which is a good time. And then there will be no Game Mess mornings tomorrow. So if you were looking forward to that, and there won't be one for a while. And I apologize. I kind of feel bad about that, but
here we'll be plenty busy, Jeff.
Yes, there will be a lot of content and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to get announced, and I'm going to be like, I should just do an episode, but. We'll see.
Look, we can always just get on. We can just tell Jen to push a button. We can get on and talk about it.
I might or I'll just make like a short version of the show or something. And we'll just post it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll make something happen, and there will be a lot of stuff.
Figure it out.
And we'll do some cool stuff since we're all going to be in person. We'll make some TikToks or something like that. Oh, also, if you're a member of Giant Bomb Premium, before the live show, I'm going to be streaming a premium only Discord stage with video of some behind the scenes stuff. So if you want to check that out, definitely tune in.
Wow.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Jeopardy tomorrow. Yeah, Jeopardy tomorrow.
We Sing versus Ashtray Mage. I'll take We Sing. Thank you, Shub and Car. Gosh. Don't say that, AJ. That's gross.
Come for Zelda.
That's fine. Jeff can make a fool of himself.
Video games. If you want to hear about gaming in a quasi-intelligent manner, you can't go wrong. 5 stars. Ouch guy.
Thanks, AJ.